girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back with another beautiful day of Lidoma Asia Cup, and make sure to remember that this is Philippines qualifier, and make sure to also join our local stream so that you can enjoy a lot of exciting prizes. Remember, guys, the dates for this particular qualifier was actually 19, 20, and 21st. That means this is day number 2, and well, of course, the first match is actually going to be Bermuda as per the schedule. In this particular map, we are going to witness quite a few beautiful places, and right now, if I'm not wrong, a lot of people have already jumped in their frequent vicinities, wherever they want to jump in. So let's see how the fights are going to get calibrated, and eventually how much more points these guys are going to get is something we all are going to witness. If I talk about Team QR, yesterday's day was amazing for that particular team in the initiation of the fights. But after that, somehow Team QR was unable to perform and eventually gain those points the way they were gaining in the first few matches. They were unable to get any booyah in the first match. Yes, of course, the booyah was there, but after that, somewhere around, the shaky start was actually shown. On the other corner, let's talk about Team H2G. This is one of those amazing teams which is still being in the top 3. That's interesting from them. If we talk about Team Ft.Av, well, there we go. Veta is popping out some heads. That's interesting. Team Veta is also losing a soul. That's really bad for this particular team. But then again, the amount of knockouts, the amount of finishes these guys is gaining is looking strong enough. The gun these guys are wielding is M1917, which is not that great to be precise. But then again, in the close combat, this gun can actually prove its worth. Apart from that, if I talk about players like Sheila or players like Exo, they are also trying to perform and eventually get some good blows. Look at that. Some shots have been exchanged. If I talk about Team QR, they're also looking up to another fight. Let's see how these fights are going to get tested or not. M60 is the gun which has been chosen by this guy. Plasma 1 has been chosen by QR Blank's corner. Some shots is something this guy is needed for. We'll be seeing very soon how the fights are going to be there, but there we go. Somehow somebody is actually dropping from the northern corners, and eventually you can already see our shots are coming up. Zoe is one of those guys who is going to be a little bit more close to the particular fight. Shanks also jumps in. Oh, one of the shot has been taken. As you all can see, some damages have been done and dusted. Literally, it's not going to be that easy for that particular guy to just survive, but oh man, Zoe taken down, Blank taken down, Shanks taken down, and the last member standing is going to be QR Smith. He's the only survivor of this particular fight. Now he's completely bailing out from the situation. He knows as far as the survival is concerned, he has to go away from this situation. If he survives, then I guess he can actually bring back the teammates. He has to have 12 tokens in his bag so that he can actually bring back his teammates. Apart from that, it's really going to be quite difficult for him to survive for the moment. So let's see how the survival is actually going to be there, and eventually how the impact is going to get delivered is something we are going to witness really very soon. H2G, Kaito, Ren, Shira, and Scene. The lineup is looking a little bit more shaky today. They've got 0 frags in their consideration, and remember guys, this is going to be just the first matches, and we'll be getting the confirmation soon enough that whether today we are going to witness 6 matches or 7, we'll be getting those confirmations soon enough. On the other corner, Taito, Ren, and these members are trying their level best to survive. If we talk about QRV, We have got Codrus in the scene. We have got PWST in the scene. We have got Mamba as well. We have got Queren in the scene. The four-man power are actually surviving for the moment, but eventually revival and the loots are something which is going to be quite crucial. And currently, if I talk about the statement of this particular team, they're looking pretty much confident. Nobody is actually attacking them. They are surviving, and that's the best part. If you are able to survive, if you are able to thrive through this particular fight, that's all you need. That's all actually is something which is needed for the moment. So being dominant, looting their previous vicinities is something all of them are actually trying to go for. K9 Esports, let's see how they're going to perform today. K9 Esports yesterday was, let's say, having significant amount of points in their favor. But then again, if I talk about the consistency, that is something which was being lacking from their stands. Now, as you all can see, the qualifiers of this region, that is Philippines, is going to be running for 3 days as most, I believe, as per the equation. So 19th, yeah, that means yesterday's qualifier is already over. You already saw 7 amazing matches: Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari, Bermuda, Purgatory, Kalahari, and after that, and Alpine was also there in this particular scene of the day number 1. But after that, this day number 2. Let's see how the day number 2 is actually going to go on, and you will be knowing soon enough whether they're going to be more and more matches or not. But for the moment, if I talk about the team which was at top, it was Team AV Radicals. This particular team, well, the way they are dominating is looking strong enough. This is the only team which is, I guess, crossing the triple digit marker, or should I say the century. FX, if I talk about this particular team, Warx FX, this team is also trying their level best to gain some good points to get those shots being coming up. Chrono Shield has been appointed. Definitely going to help him a lot in terms of survival, but as far as the match is concerned, as far as the push is concerned, there is actually going to be somewhere around, let's say, a backlash coming up soon enough. Aguila, 2x easy. Cheers has been taken down. Gosu is still surviving. That's a sad side to watch that his teammate has been taken down. But I believe the teammates of Team FX are already ready to just get that revival, or should I say recall, done and dusted very soon. I believe Cheers can actually be back in the game. We'll be seeing soon enough how Cheers' revivals is going to help this particular team or not. That's the biggest thing. Will they be able to cherish? Will they be able to gain those amazing points or not? That is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch out for the moment. Ego is actually there right now. We have got Shan, we have got Yoshi, we have got Kim. Reborn himself is actually still surviving. That's interesting. A lot of people are there in the lobby, no doubt on that. People are surviving. People are trying their best to chase some blues. That's interesting. Airship is approaching. Safe zone is also as well shrinking. Well, right now, the amount of survival is looking strong. 37 players. That's what we are living up to. Still waiting for the right fight to come in. Well, as you all can see, this is what the map shows. The next play zone shrink can be very, very crucial. It can actually go to Bhima Shakti Strip, or it can actually go to Clock Tower. But is it going to be like that kind of scenario or not? We'll be seeing it very, very soon. If I talk about Team V, today this particular team is looking a little bit shaky as far as the manpower is concerned. 36 players are surviving. That's interesting. The number of players are actually looking sharp. But then again, this particular team is actually going to lack some kind of consistency in their favor. Moving up ahead, we'll be seeing it very, very soon that how the fights are going to get delivered. If we talk about Team WL, I believe that's Levi, Nathan, Tacular, and apart from that, it's going to be Heroes. And these are the 4 or 5 members which are still surviving for the moment. Now they are looting the Mars area, I believe. That's interesting to see that how the fights will be delivered. Vending machine is also there so that they can eventually gain some good loots from those tokens that they've actually collected. That's interesting to watch out. If we talk about Team Bloody Head, this particular team was able to get a beautiful booyah in previous day. That means day number 1 of the Philippines qualifier. But after that, the situation is not looking that strong. Despite of having one booyah in their favor, this team was lurking in the second page of the leaderboard, which is not a great sight to see. 8th position was something that they were actually cherishing. Hard to get. This team is also one of those amazing teams which were aiming for more and more points. Let's see today how the points table is actually going to turn out, how the points are actually going to get delivered. That bridge is actually going to be quite crucial. Some good shots can be landed onto them, and eventually if these shots are going to get delivered, well, survival is something which is going to get impacted for sure, I believe. Bloody Head, Scaldi, Voidface, Josh, Morgan. 3-4 members still surviving, still waiting for the right time period to strike on, but I don't think so it's going to be easy for them. So let's wait and watch whatever happens. 2 good members from Team PH are already rotating through the vehicles, and if I talk about the other 2 members, they are holding the compounds. Well, now Josh is also in the car. That's interesting. If I talk about Morgan, he's actually going to be on foot, waiting for the right time period, but I guess his teammate is already there with the vehicle so that they can actually rotate and pull through with some good blows. I believe Woodpecker is already set in his backpack. Okay, that's ABCD. That's interesting. Scythe has also been revealed, but still not even a single casualty coming up. 30 people are surviving for the moment, and only 2 kills coming from their particular corner. But now, as you all can see, Team Vet are getting shattered. 2 good members of Vet have already been taken down, and now if we talk about the last guy, that's going to be Lesgo. He wants to fall back from the situation. He wants to just be as far as away as possible. to survive, in order to give the kind of, let's say, gun game we all want to see. That's what this guy is trying to do. That's what this guy is actually going to go for. AV Radicals is already getting punished. As you all can see, Team AV Radicals, despite of actually getting punished, they have already attained 10 kills in their favor. I believe this could be one of the strongest team from the Filipino region, and this could be one of those teams which is easily going to crush a lot of hopes of these guys. Let's see what eventually happens. We have got Tanamo, we have got players like Ritu, we have got Raymel in the scene. Vine is someone who has to get that recall, and eventually when he's back in the game, that can be critical. Alright, as you all can see, already a drone has been appointed, which can easily give the position to the enemy as well. Apart from that, Om is actually in the backpack. Yesterday, I guess we saw that how beautifully Om can work out. Some good shots from Om was used yesterday. But today, if I talk about the day, it is going to be a little bit more unstable, because right now we are midway to the qualifiers round for this particular team. This particular Asian region. That's interesting to watch out how this whole situation will be carried away. Apart from that, if I'm not wrong, as you can see, a lot of shots have been exchanged on Ramel's corner, but still he survived. From the other corner, some more shots have been dealt. Oh, that was huge, man. What an amazing knockout coming up, and just like that right now, more and more knockouts should be delivered, and yes, of course, the knockout comes in, the finish also comes in. That's interesting. Team AV is on par. They are not about to stop. Nobody is here to stop them. The way they are performing is absolutely chaotic. Every single reason coming from these particular guys' corner is looking very strong, very definitive, and quite carnageous, to be precise. So I'm literally doubting at this moment what will happen to the enemy, because if I talk about Team AV Radicals as well, the way they are performing, the way they are contributing in this particular fight, I don't think so there is somebody else who is going to actually pull through a stunt like this one. So that's massive, man. That's massive. What an amazing performance coming from the corner, to be precise. Now let's figure out what will actually happen, what more can actually happen for the moment. As you can see, this particular team known as Team WL is also trying to rotate, also trying to hold some good points. But eventually they are just in a factory-like region. They are just trying to survive a bit more. Survival is something which is not going to be a piece of cake, but then again, still they are trying. Definitely, once again, I guess we are waiting for the right fight to come in. Team Bloody Head still surviving, still pulling up the punches. One kill from this particular guy's corner with that ABCD. That was quite chaotic to watch out, but I guess we missed some shots. Caldi, if I talk about this guy, he's still unable to tag out anybody. That is why he's appointing some blue walls so that he can survive from those blows coming up. But Josh has been taken down. Another shot comes in. That was interesting. Charge Buster has been used up, but will it be able to support him or not? That's quite crucial to watch out. As you can see, the shots are coming up. He managed to get another kill in the perspective. Now, right now, 19 people are surviving in the lobby. Apart from that, okay, more and more shots are coming as well. As you can see, ABCD 10 has been used up. As you can see, ABCD might be able to connect some good shots, but still he fails to do so. Apart from that, more and more people are pushing on to him. Obviously, the survival is not going to be an easy task for him. Charge Buster has been used up. Let's see how this gun is actually going to get an impact onto him. And there we go. Charge Buster is in front of him. Okay, shots have been exchanged, but finally Caldi gets down. Void Face on the other corner is also trying his level best to attain some good shots, but is it not going to be easy? It is not going to be easy, that's for sure. ABCD is the right kind of gun that you can actually use in the close-sighted areas. So, in order to get those blows, it is actually going to create a lot of difficult stances for sure. And you can already see shots being exchanged. A beautiful knockout comes in once again. Okay, we are actually looking up to a lot of knockouts coming up. That's interesting. Quite a bit of knocks are coming up. We have got White Face, we have got Morgan as well in the scene. Every single player is still surviving, waiting for the right time period, waiting for the right moment to just strike on Morgan and Voidface. These are the two members still surviving. If I talk about Team QRV, well, performance power is there, but definitely the number of finishers is not looking that strong as compared to the other. Right now, if I talk about Team AV Radicals, Tanamo is there, Raymil is going to be there. Only two members are surviving from this particular team. But right now, I believe the recall is going to be there. And there we go. Vines is already back in the game. Only 3 tokens were there from his corner, I believe. That is why he was able to res out his teammate. But finally, a good arm shot was able to land down PH's one more guy. That is, I believe, Morgan. That's interesting, man. Pentakill comes in from his corner. What an amazing performance. But I believe this could actually turn the tides where Team FX is still surviving. FX with the 4-man power is surviving, to be precise. This team can particularly chase a lot of things out of the equation. And now I believe we are going to witness some more carnage. We are going to witness some more chaotic situations like that as well. So let's hope that these connections are actually going to give us some kind of brief idea about the fights, brief idea about the close calls, brief idea about the fights and the punches as well. And 249, another beautiful gun being used up. A lot of damage has been delivered. But you have to remember, guys, that in this kind of a game, in this kind of, let's say, meta, you won't be able to use those sprays just because the enemy is easily going to appoint the glue walls. And what will you do? You will do nothing because the glue wall is in front of you. The damage won't be easy. But a headshot comes in from this particular guy's corner. Look at that beautiful kind of domination coming from his corner. Day number 1, match number 1. Day number 2 to be precise. It's day number 2. It's match number 1. The map is Bermuda. A beautiful map. Amazing map indeed. And you can already see that this amazing map is actually giving us a lot of clarity as to how these teams are going to perform and eventually how these teams are going to get those points as well in their favor. For the moment, we are waiting for the right fight to come in. FX still waiting on their output, not having as many kills as the enemy is. But right now, I want to see is AV surviving or not. If AV will be in the game, situation will be much more tricky because AV is having a lot more number of kills as compared to any other team in this lobby at this moment. We've got Ego, Shan, Yoshi, Kim, P199, 4 good members from Team Ego are still surviving, and there we go. Some more shots have been exchanged, but a beautiful knock comes in. I believe one more player from the lobby is about to go down to the knees. Some more shots still being exchanged, but unable to deliver any kind of frag. Only one frag is there from his particular corner, but apart from that, not even connecting another bullets. Waiting for the right time period, still sneaking up on the fight. Kim, if I talk about that guy, he's also trying to hold up his own edge. If I talk about Reborn, he's also trying his level best to retaliate and get those clarifications done. But look at that. I was expecting AV to survive. And yes, AV is surviving. And every single guy from Team AV's corner is able to attain close to 3-4 finishes in his favor. That's interesting. The Booyah might not be in their favor. But then again, the amount of finishes these guys are actually cherishing will help them a lot in terms of their stand in the leaderboard. I believe that's what they are looking up to. They want to climb in the leaderboard. Apart from that, nothing else matters to this particular team. They just want to maintain their lead in the leaderboard, and that, my friend, is actually going to be quite amazing to watch out. Shots still being exchanged. The knockout might be coming up soon enough. Shares Agila and the
Magic
guys have to
happens.
push forward. Blue walls have been appointed as well. Can see the shots are coming for sure, but then again, the shots are unable to get connected just because a lot of blue walls has been appointed. As you can see, treatment pistol is already being used up so that they can actually maintain the HPs of the teammates as well. Some shots still getting connected, as you can see. From the back end, a cover is coming up. Ego is still surviving. I don't know how many teams are surviving for the moment, but I believe Ego, apart from that, Team AD are still surviving. Chrono Shield still being appointed, but that definitely was unable to help him out. Now Yoshi will be taken down soon enough, I believe. He's the last man standing of his team. But on the other corner, we talk about Team FX. They are also receiving some good blows. We have got Aguila knocked out to the desk, and I guess Yoshi is only the guy who is still surviving. And I believe a Booyah is about to come in, and it's going to be coming soon enough. And there we go. I guess the Booyah comes in. Team FX was able to get that amazing Booyah, get the first Booyah of this particular into the favor. That was absolutely amazing. Quite an amazing performance coming from this particular team. The Booyah they are actually getting is going to help them a lot in terms of their aggression. It's going to help them a lot in terms of their performance as well. So I am loving the way this team is actually performing. But quite frequently, I guess we saw the manpower, the synergy, the right kind of features like, let's say, usage of guns and usage of chrono shield and usage of blue walls at the right time period. Despite of being outside the particular play zone, Team FX was able to chase out the fight, get some good blows, and that was something very, very amazing. They were having the lower edges. Ego was having the upper edges, but despite of that, Ego was. But right now, we are going to take a short break. Until then, you should enjoy and get the highlights back in the scene.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done now.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Welcome back once again, guys. We are back with a bang. This is going to be the second match for the day. Remember, guys, this is Philippines qualifier. This is day number two. Match number two is about to come in. First match was Bermuda, and it was quite amazing. Right now, we are going to witness the second one, which is going to be Purgatory. In the first match, the team which actually got that Booyah was actually, if I'm not wrong, one of those amazing teams with the 4-man power. I guess that was Team FX. But right now, for the moment, we are going to witness once again a lot of chaos coming up in the map of Purgatory. As we know, this particular map is actually going to be filled of Choice and Cherish because it's a triple island type of setup. And in this particular map, we are going to witness a lot of places like where the clashes are about to come in, where the fights are actually going to get delivered or not. These are the few things which are actually going to create and contribute a lot of stuff in the lobby. So for that, we are going to witness these clashes coming up soon. Right now, people are jumping here and there and trying their level best to focus on those particular areas where they might actually get some good loots. But as far as I'm concerned, I guess we are actually going to witness a little bit of passive type of gameplay in the start. But after that, I guess the passive gameplay is going to end really very soon. The clash is about to come in, and eventually those clashes are going to result in a very adverse effect. So for those situations, we'll be carrying it away. We'll be seeing how the whole situation goes on and eventually how the fights are actually going to get delivered or not. These are the few important things that can actually turn out a few stones unturned. Ego is actually self-surviving. You guys remember Ego is going to be one of those teams which was unable to touch the Booyah in the previous one. So yeah, Ego has to gain some conscious and eventually take this whole fight into their egos and get some good points. That is going to be quite crucial to see. Let's see how the gun game is actually going to get delivered or not. Well, guys, as you all can see, if I talk about Team V, once again, this team is not coming with 3-man power right now. They have got the 4-man power, which is absolutely amazing. And if I talk about Team Bloody Hell, we can already see some more shots have been connected on their vehicles. So obviously, they have to get some good utilities. M4A1 is actually going to be the gun that this guy is particularly using. Definitely not being a piece of cake for them. Bloody Hell, if I talk about this particular team, Bloody Head is actually surviving. We have got Keller, we have Interface. Talk about QR, we have got Blank, Zoe, Shanks, Eagle. Everybody is here right now. 43 people are actually still surviving in the lobby. I believe one or two members from this particular lobby have already been taken down. So let's see how this whole situation gets carried away and eventually how the blows are actually going to get contested is something very, very amazing to watch out. For the moment, as you all can see, the fights are something which we are missing. But slowly but steadily, I guess we are going to witness. Shanks, Eagle, VLs, WLs, Invoker. Everybody is actually being dominant for the moment. People are also jumping on the edges of the lobby so that they can actually survive a bit more and eventually these blows can help them a lot. So for sure, surviving is going to be the main goal. You have to go for the Booyah as well. If you are not actually getting the Booyah, get the top 3 position in the favor. And apart from that, being in the top 3 will actually get you close to 4 or 5 finishes as well. So obviously that can actually help you a lot. So that's what these guys are actually trying to go for. But eventually, we all know if everybody wants to survive, then I guess in the back end, the root say, I guess in the back end, I believe the fights will be delivered. Still waiting, still watching. Okay, some shots are being connected. As you all can see, that vehicle is already in flame. I guess the enemy is going to be there in the front end. Some shots have been exchanged, but still the connectivity fails to fall short. But on the other one, as you all can show, apart from the blue walls, still those shots are looking very deadly. And there we go. The people actually are getting knocked out. The finishers are actually coming up. Payne is actually going to collect his first ever finish, first ever blood from the lobby, and that's interesting. Moving up ahead, let's see what more can actually happen. Invoker manages to finish the bomb, and eventually Payne is going to get his first finish in his favor. Apart from that, Team W is looking empty-handed. They don't have any more finishes. So in the start, I believe that's a great start. Getting some good blows, getting some good initiation points is absolutely going to be amazing. If we talk about Team QRV, we have got Gorgeous, Twist, Mamba, and Kieran is actually going to be there. So these are the 4 members which are still surviving, which are still waiting for the right time period to strike on. But we are still not getting that kind of connectivity which we want to see, that how these people are actually going to turn the dice in their favor or not. That is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch. K9, we've got Presco in the scene, we've got Sneaks, we've got Kino in the scene. Apart from that, we have got Darren in the scene. K9 Esports yesterday was able to get some good, decent amount of points. I won't say good points, but yeah, decent amount of points were actually there from Team K9's corner. But today, It seems situation is a little bit more tricky for this particular team because K9 is unable to support and unable to, let's say, procrastinate the particular fights in the previous match. But right now in this particular match, Purgatory is the map, so obviously I guess situations are going to turn out quite amazing to watch out. Don't forget, guys, we are going to witness 6 matches more, including this one to be precise. So this is going to be the second match for the day. But apart from that, we are going to witness 5 more matches, which is going to be as per the schedule. Like Kalahari is going to come up next, and after that, Bermuda is going to be there, and after Bermuda, Purgatory is going to be there, and then again, Kalahari once again will be delivered, and after that, finally, we are going to get one Alpine, which can tell you a lot of stories. In this today's match of Alpine, I guess we saw a lot of ups and downs coming up. We saw a lot of changes coming up in the lobby, and that is something which I am pretty much confident about seeing today as well. We have got Shan, we have got Yosh, AMJ, Reborn 99. Few of those people were able to get some good blows in the yesterday's match, but today, as you can see, Lean has been taken down. Snap is also not looking that comfortable. If we talk about Team Bloody Hell, they are also Bloody Hell to be precise. They are also trying their level best to attain some good points, but unfortunately failing to do so. 33 people still resigning. Well, we have got Quirin in the scene, we have got Yato in the scene, we have got Num, Snipe. Every single player is still looking up to the charm, still trying their level best to gain some good points. Meanwhile, maintaining their kind of, let's say, peace of mind, trying their level best to survive a bit more is going to be the goal. So yeah, that's what we are going to look up to. If they are able to survive, well, that is definitely going to be a beautiful stance to watch out. But BH finally pushes in into the particular play zone. Let's see how their push will be delivered. Eventually, will they be able to gain some good points in the play zone or not? It is going to be something which is going to be quite crucial. These guys are actually holding some good two-seater vehicles, which can actually help them a lot in terms of their rotations as well. Because if you are rotating with only one vehicle, a lot of people can actually put shots on you, and eventually your vehicle can go into flames, and the whole team will be taken out. But right now, if you guys can see, BH are actually rotating in a 2-2 split. That can be very beneficial for them in the upcoming fights, because even if one vehicle goes down to dust, the other two guys can actually go in and go for those recalls by actually summoning the vending machine and actually getting the tokens used up at the right time period. So that could be something which we are going to witness really very soon. Still waiting for the fight, guys. What do you think? What will happen eventually? Let's go to the chat and eventually witness what you guys are talking about. But nobody is here in the chat right now. That is something which is unexpected, guys. Nobita says awesome. Fake Def says OP bro. And Shaina is actually saying go FX. Yes, of course, FX is crushing the deal, no doubt in that. FX in the first match got the booyah with some decent amount of points, I believe. So that definitely can help them a lot in terms of the upcoming blows. So let's see what eventually happens. Okay, I guess he has spotted one of those amazing players. Right now, let's see how the contestment is going to be there. Now, after getting spotted, the glue walls and the chrono shield was actually appointed, but from the other corner, FGO's one good member was able to put down Invoker, and now Team WL is also losing some good players. Paul and Pale are trying to actually fall back a little bit more, but if I'm not wrong, Payne is still surviving. Payne is still waiting for the right time period. Eventually, whenever he gets the chance, he might be able to gain some good points by actually opening up some good shots. So, what do you think about that scenario, guys? Do you think that it going to happen or not? That is something which is going to be quite crucial. We have got Blank, we have got Zoe, we have got Shank, the 555 to be precise. Eagle as well is actually going to be there. If I talk about Team BH, they are also definitely creating some havoc in the lobby. If I talk about Team AV Radicals is performing as well. As you can see, for the moment, AV Radicals is having 6 amazing kills from the start of this particular match, and now they are popping some heads well as well. So I think AV might be able to get the booyah again. There is a possibility. Even if Team AV is not getting the booyah, AV Radicals is not unable to get the booyah, they are getting some good points in terms of their fragging, in terms of their aggression, in terms of their, let's say, kills streak. And that is something which is going to help them a lot in terms of their point system. So yeah, we are going to witness quite a few things really very soon. We will be seeing how the whole situation goes on, how the tides are actually going to turn or not. So let's think and talk about these situations coming up. AMJ still trying to survive, Yoshi still trying to survive, Shan is still trying to survive, Reborn is still getting connected from this own corner. So a lot of things can actually go south for these particular teams, but they are still waiting for the right time period. They're still waiting for the right fight to come in. But let's see, guys, what eventually happens. How much more of a blow they can actually gain is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch. Yato is there, Num is going to be there, Snipe is going to be there. So every single guy is still surviving from this particular team. The 4-man power is definitely looking quite strong. Blank, Zoe, Shanks, Eagle. 4 good members of this particular team. Still waiting for the right time period to strike on. They are just waiting for the right moment where this team might be able to gain some good points. What do you think, guys? When will that moment come in? Do you think eventually the fights are going to be there or not? Please let me know about that situation as well. 4 amazing kills is already there from this particular guy's corner. Eagle is actually on point. He is just like his name, being an eagle, hunting down the prey. And look at that. Another shot comes in. What an amazing confrontation coming from this guy's corner. Well, that player is not stopping anytime soon. Invoker is just right now wreaking some havoc in the lobby. As you can see, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of fights, a lot of pull through, like let's say gameplays are actually coming up, and no doubt these stances are looking very amazing. The performance is looking very amazing. It's mesmerizing the way these people are actually gaining some good points. But let's see what eventually happens in the next one. Total 25 players are still surviving. 3 amazing kills for this particular guy who is known as Pain. He started it off quite well. Right now he's actually looking strong enough in this kind of, let's say, stance. So we'll be seeing very, very soon that how this whole situation gets carried away. Blank, Zoe, Shanks, Eagle. 4-man power, still deciding and getting some good points. Invoker is there. On its are actually going to be there. Paul and Pale. Everybody waiting for the right time period to hunt the enemy. Not getting that movement is going to be the crucial task. And I'm getting some hiccups, guys. So give me a short break of drinking some waters, and then I'll be back. For the moment, you can already see the people are being literally very dominant. Well, in the chat, I can see that LS Execute is saying go via QR. So let's see how QR is going to perform eventually. If your teams are getting the support, I believe they might be able to support and eventually get some good blows as well. A recall comes in. Paul is back in the game. He's going to patch himself as well. If I talk about Invoker, he has also been taken down. That's sad to watch. Invoker has been taken down. He's getting patched here and there. But right now, if I talk about the shots, well, there we go. These shots are looking very, very amazing to actually get calibrated with. On the other corner, if I talk about this guy, you can already see a lot of products coming up. Survival is going to be definitely not easy. And yes, of course, that's what happened. Now, the last remaining player is going to be a bit more on the far end. So, still waiting for the right moment where the fight actually might strike. The blows might actually come in. Another shot might actually be here anytime soon. You can already see some throwables being used up. These throwables are definitely not going to get connected because the enemy is already lurking in the backends. If we talk about team hard to get, yes, of course, this team is, as per the name, going to be hard to get. And there we go. With the charge burster, managed to get one amazing knockout in this consideration. Another knockout might actually come in soon enough. Chrono Shield was appointed, but that definitely won't help him a lot to be precise. As you can see, a lot of throwables, a lot of nades are something which is going to get used up, but that nade with the glue wall gets bounced up. I guess his teammate is going to get connected soon enough with that glue wall. But another knockout comes in. That's beautiful. Team H2G is still performing, but one good member from H2G that's going to be insane has been taken down. Ego on the other corner gets also cherished with a lot of bloodshed. So both of these particular teams are going to get connected soon enough. As you can see, we have got Shan, Num is there, Sniper is going to be there. Every single player is trying his level best to gain some good points, but is it going to be an easy task or not? That is something which is going to be quite crucial. As you can see, teams are not able to attain those points in their favor. Apart from that, everything is actually looking quite sneaky, quite amazing to be precise. But we are still waiting for the right fight to come in. We are still waiting for those right amazing punches coming up. What do you think, guys? How the punches are going to get pulled through? James Zoy still waiting. Okay, another beautiful shot, another beautiful kill for him. 4 amazing elimination from QR's corner, and I believe as per Alice Executes prediction, I guess the situation is actually going to be in their favor quite a bit. Let's see what eventually happens, guys. Let's see how the connections are going to get delivered for them. Eventually, how many more points are they actually going to be there, and the factor is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch out for. Blank still deciding to the fights. He's getting some good blows of his own. He's collecting the finishes that he has actually accumulated all together in this particular match. So that's interesting. The way they're collecting those finishes is definitely going to help them a lot. So that's what we are actually looking at. We are seeing, we're looking forward. We are actually looking out the fights coming up. As you can see, some more shots have been delivered. So he still tries to survive, and there we go. This is the 5th kill from this particular guy's corner, and he's still not actually, let's say, giving up the disappointment. He's still praising his coming up with some good blows as well. On the other corner, if we talk about more and more players, let's see how their performance are going to get calibrated. 5 amazing eliminations from this guy's corner. You are still surviving, they're still performing. We have got Shanks, we have got Eagle. Every player is still surpassing the blows, still gaining some good points in their favor as well. Shanks Zoe, Blank, and these guys. What an amazing four-man power type of fight coming up. It's a 2v2 type of situation, guys. Right now, two teams are surviving. This is going to be Ego versus Team QR, if I'm not wrong. Once again, Ego is coming up to the #2 position. If they are unable to get the booyah in this one as well, I would be literally very, very sad, I guess. That could be chaotic to watch out. As you can see, we are still waiting. Some more shots have been exchanged. Definitely, it's not good enough to actually put down the enemy. But now, okay, these arms are not getting connected. What is happening, guys, right now? Zoe has been taken down. Zoe might be actually going to go down really very soon. But I believe the revival is coming up. And that's a beautiful revival coming up. Just like that, this particular team is here with a four-man power. But if we talk about Team Ego, they are also here with the four-man power. It's a 4 versus 4 type of scenario coming up. Some throwables have been used up. Let's see how the throwable is going to get connected. How much more of a damage is actually going to be there with that throwable is something we all want to know. But at this moment, still failing to connect some good shots. On the other corner, as you can see, the cover shield was appointed from the right-hand corner. Another shot comes in. The knockout as well comes in. Booyah is way too close for Team QR. If I talk about Team Ego, they are still failing to connect any kind of good shots, and I believe very soon Team Ego will be going out of equation soon, and I believe that is something that is going to be quite critical. And there we go, just like that. Blank was the last guy who appointed that last shot into his favor, and just like that, the game has done and dusted, and you can actually witness a beautiful team known as QR getting a beautiful and amazing booyah, to be precise. As per the fans are actually expecting, LS Execute was there in the live chat who was saying that go execute, and that's what happened. Go execute. Go VIQR, I believe that's the name from Philippines. That's interesting. Quite a few beautiful blows coming from these guys' corner. But right now, I'm expecting next clash coming up soon enough. I believe the next clash will come, and that clash is actually going to be there on the back ends of Kalahari. We'll be witnessing that also as well. But right now, I guess we have to take a short break so that we can actually bring back our co-caster. That is going to be insane soon enough. He's also going to join us on the desk.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the Philippines qualifier. This is going to be day number 2, and we are going to witness the third match for the day. This is Lidoma presents Asia Cup, and right now, my name is Jada. Along with me, it's going to be my amazing co-caster, Insane. Welcome, Insane, on the disc.
Thank you so much, Raider, for the warm welcome, guys. Philippine qualifiers are all here. 2 matches down the line, we are up with the third match. Let's see how far along the teams will go. The third match, none other than the map of Kalahari. We are having great expectation from the teams. Team Vita, SAF, MCDO. Let's go, Sheila and Sheila. Okay, this is quite a surprise. 2 Sheilas in one single game, one single squad. They are moving towards the Bayfront area, and we're expecting a great game from this particular team. But at the same time, right off the bat, we could see one team has got eliminated in the early quarters of the game. Very initial stage, one team has already got eliminated. This clearly shows the aggression that is in the lobby right now. The lobby is very hard, is very strong, and the team players, they are not going to give you any chance to survive and make a comeback.
Well, definitely the comeback is going to be quite crucial for this particular team. But right now, let me remind you, AV Radicals is one of those amazing teams which is still being on top. Yesterday, if we talk about yesterday's stand, that team was having 123 points in 7 matches, and that was quite crucial. 3 booyahs in one single day was delivered from AV's corner. Yesterday, if I talk about today's day, AV is failing to get any kind of booyahs, but then again, AV is having 41 points and they are still being on top right now. Look at the number of finishes they are actually attaining. 29 amazing kills altogether. That's massive. But let's talk about the fights coming up right now in this particular region. I guess we are witnessing Team WL. They are trying to take up a fight. They are trying to deliver some good blows, but is it going to be an easy task or not? That is something which we'll be seeing very, very soon. You can already see shots being connected. Invoker gets the first one. Paul is already way too low on his HP. If we talk about on it, he's also trying his level best to attack with that M1887, but still failing to do so.
Indeed. AV with 41 points, but right now there's a good fight happening. Onitz is constantly trying to take shots at the player. Yes, he has managed to secure one frag in the game. This frag is definitely going to give them a huge advantage, but right now they are in at the 5th spot. 18 points, and what we can clearly see is that AV has created a huge buffer. There's a buffer of almost 9 points between 1 and 2 teams, but this particular buffer gets even bigger when it comes to the 1st and the 3rd spot. The difference is growing, the difference is building, but the teams are still going to come back, and they are not going to simply quit the game. They are going to make a huge comeback, but let's see how far along they can go. Right now, got Toby. This guy, he spotted a guy, but unfortunately he got taken down from the right side. There's a guy coming from the higher side as well. Kando, last man surviving. This guy already knew. I believe God Toby had already given him the clue that, bro, you have to survive. You simply stay put. The very moment I get down, try to revive the rest of the players which are going to make a comeback in the game. FX in the meantime, Agila, GC, Chairs, and Gosu. We can see 4 names. We can see 4 guys with a good team, with a good combination. But the battle is tough. We'll get to see at the end of the day which team hails in at the 1st spot.
Well, definitely healing the first stop is something which is going to be quite a amazing goal for every single team. QR is already fighting for that with an amazing booyah in the previous match. QR actually maintains and showcases the kind of own dominance. But if I talk about teams like QRV, or should I say teams like WL as well, they are unable to get any kind of amazing points in their favor. FX, after getting the first booyah for day number 2, they are still residing at, let's say, #7th position, which is not a great sight to watch. But apart from that, if I talk about Team V, let's see how they're going to gain those points. Yato, Num, Snipe, and Leon is actually going to be the 4-man power, still trying to decipher that what to do and how the performance should be delivered, because in this red desert, the shots can come from any given area.
Yes. See, these guys, the competition has already been established. These guys know that the competition is very big. The competition is huge. Vita, in the meantime, they are currently sitting in a high spot comfortably. They've already realized the crucial factor that the compound of refinery brings in. It is an advantageous position whenever you go towards the refinery area. If in case you manage to survive and if in case you manage to conquer the refinery area, it gives you a huge advantage over the circle. Generally 80% of the times, refinery, since it is in the center of the map, most of the circles are already on top of the refinery area, so you already get a good survival points when it comes to the survival. But then again, what actually matters is the number of position points with the kill points as well. You cannot simply rely on the survival points. Yes, you can travel so far, but to be on the top, you've got to have the balance number of kill frags as well. Sheila, in the meantime, refinery area all by themselves. Team Vita is surviving, but I would like to see the number of frags this particular team has secured so far. But right now, BH, Kaldi, Whiteface, Josh, and Morgana, the Filipino guys, the Filipino teams, they are quite up for a good competition. And currently, I think they've already realized the importance of this particular stage. This is the Asia Cup. This is not a Philippines battle. It is indeed the Asia Cup, and the next stage is going to be a big game changer for every single team.
Well, definitely, this is one of those stages where you actually have to perform and get some good close calls in your favor, because the prize pool is actually massive, 5 lakh rupees as per the Indian standards. But if I talk about in terms of dollars, it's going to be plus 6,000. So that's absolutely amazing. Well, convert these let's say dollars in your native currency, and you will get to know that how huge the prize pools are here right now in this Lidoma Asia Cup. But apart from that, the bragging rights of winning Asia Cup is something which is going to be quite crucial, and the patriotic feeling of crushing down the enemies, crushing down the other teams as well, and representing your nation in this kind of stand is absolutely going to be quite crucial for these guys. But right now, as you can see, the connectivity is failing to come. So 35 amazing players are still surviving. But if we talk about Invoker with 2 amazing kills, he's already starting off quite well.
Invoker, let's see if he can actually invoke some damage on the other players or not. But right now, all the 4 players, see, this good thing about this quality about this particular team is that all the 4 players are sticking with each other. Every single guy is in the immediate vicinity. They don't want to lose sight of the players. Every time they have to have a certain level of distance that they need to maintain. But the crucial part about this particular lineup and the formation is that they keep covering their backs. They keep covering the backs of their teammates, which is very crucial, which is very critical. It gives you an advantage. You need to cover for your teammate. That's the camaraderie is all about. That's this particular game is all about. But right now, Mamba sitting on the edge of the circle on the higher side. Let's see, he'll get a better vision from that particular situation. But the better vision, let's see whether he'll be able to take advantage, make good of that particular advantage, Raider.
Well, indeed, we have to see that how this whole situation gets on, and eventually how the points are going to get carried away. Because, as you said, the camaraderie is going to get impacted when you have the 3-man power. But definitely, these players are actually going to play a little bit more passive as compared to their original stance. Because right now they're missing the fourth wheel of their card. So yes, of course, surviving is something which is going to be quite crucial for these players. Apart from that, getting some good points in terms of kills as well is also going to be very important. As we all know that the right balance of that particular thing is actually going to spice up your food. But right now, we have got EXT as well trying to perform. We have got Furhair, we have got Kando, Gutu Boy in the scene, and Pierre is also as well surviving. Yesterday, this particular team was also able to gain some good, amazing points in their favor. But today, situations don't seem to be that favorable for them. But right now, this particular match has a long way to go. Close to, let's say, 2 or 3 zones are also about to come in right now. So when these proximities will increase, we might see some more finishes coming from EXT's corner.
Since you mentioned about the spice that is in the game, I would say variety is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of the game as well. You've got to have various strategies that you need to bring into the table. And that's the reason, that's how and why you win the battle. Right now, QR, Blank, Zoe, Shanks, and Eagle, all the 4 guys. This team, they finally managed to come into the top 33 players. We have 32 players still surviving, and this particular number is constantly being decreased from 33 to 32, from 32 to 30. Finally, people are getting revived, people are getting eliminated. Zoe, in the meantime, he has taken down Morgana. Okay, right off the bat, he has confirmed the frag as well. This is a good call so far. These players are looking very confident. But Raider, I want you to comment on the previous matches because I was watching these matches, but unfortunately, I could not manage to come on the caster desk in the last few games. Last two games, I want your views, I want your points, I want your words on the last two matches, the way these teams are playing, the strategies that are being portrayed in this particular event. Today, we've got all the matches. We've got third match running, which is Kalahari, generally known to be the game changer, generally known to be the map of magic. But please, your comment for me are very crucial at the moment because this is very crucial for the people that are watching right now.
Well, definitely would like to comment on these particular teams. The way they performed in the previous two matches were pretty much, let's say, consistent. And eventually there was dominance, there were, let's say, passiveness also coming from these particular teams. But one team I would like to actually call out is going to be AV Radicals. The way they performed was quite crucial. Despite of not getting any booyah in these particular two matches, they were able to attain quite a few amazing points, and altogether 41 amazing points is what they are actually attaining in two matches. That's amazing, despite of not having a single booyah in their favor. That's what these particular teams are trying to go for. But AV Radicals is one of those teams which everybody has to watch out for. But if we talk about AXC, this is the first match for the day. Let's see how they're going to perform, how much blows they are going to get. Another team I would love to actually talk about is going to be FX. They started it off quite well. They got their first booyah in this particular match. That means Bermuda was already there in their favor. But after that, if we talk about the other team, like let's say Ego, if I talk about that particular team, in both the matches, in both Bermuda as well as let's say Purgatory, both the matches were there for them as let's say contradictory type of fight was there. They actually was able to gain second position. That's all. And after that, booyah was something which was out of equation. In the first match, FX actually snatched that booyah. In the second one, team QR was able to snatch that booyah. So somehow that team is still failing to get the booyah. But if we talk about Team FX, they are back in the game. They are actually trying their level best to gain some good points, but still having only 18 points in two matches for day number 2.
Right now, that was a good observation that you simply put there because it is very crucial for the viewer that are watching. Sometimes the viewers are unable to understand the sort of a situation that is going on in the game at the moment, but casters' words are very crucial for them. They get a better understanding of the gameplay. But right now, FX Gosu is down and dusted. Chairs too easy and Agila. 3 guys surviving. Look at the size of the circle. The size of the circle is getting smaller and smaller as the moment passes. And we still have 27 guys surviving. 27 crucial guys surviving. Crucial guys hitting hard. Ego Shan in the meantime gets one knock and gets the finish right off the bat. But from here, they are already on the edge of the circle. Let's see whether the circle shifts away from them or the circle favors them. If it does favor them, it's going to be a good thing. But unfortunately, the circle has gone a little ahead of them. But I think from this point of time, from this position, they are not going to find a lot of difficulties in moving ahead towards the circle. But then again, Ego Shan is going towards the higher side of the ground. From there, he'll definitely get a better viewpoint. But all the other guys, I think they should be moving towards the circle, towards the compound, because we can clearly see so many compounds in the circle. MCDO, couple of guys are chasing MCDO right now. It's a tough situation. One man down. He has taken one man down. Invoker it was, and the other one as well. Onyx as well. 1 2. That is a 2-kill conversion. No. The second kill. Right moments before the second kill was about to get confirmed, third guy came in. He said, no. I won't let it happen under my watch. Not under my watch. The last final guy gets eliminated. Team still looking confident. Here, Team QR, or rather I should say Team GM Zoe still surviving. Shanks is dead. We are down to 3 men.
Indeed, man. What a chaotic fight is coming up right now. If I talk about QR, once again, they are gaining some good points. They are engaging in some good clashes as well. But let's see how this whole clashes, or should I say, the betrayal of this particular fight is going to get converted. For the moment, Team WL is also performing exceptionally well. They are in the match. Invoker is about to be back in the game. And yes, of course, the tokens have been used rightly. Invoker is back in the fight. He is actually coming up with some good blows of his own. If we talk about Pain getting passed up with this throwable. But right now, if I talk about Team ORG as well, they are a little bit outside the particular play zone. They're going for the heal battle. Chrono Shield is helping them quite a bit. But right now, once again, they have to move forward. They have to gain some good points. Blue walls have been appointed, trying their levels to attack and get some good points as well. But AXT, they failed to do so. For the moment, one of the shots is actually coming up. You can already see a backlash is coming. A lot of shots is being exchanged. But then again, GM Zoe was able to attack one more player, but it's a talk about this particular player. For her also gets this quarter kill. Apart from that, another knockout might be coming up soon enough. But Kando was the guy who is going to get this one in his bag. Day number 2, match number 3, Kalahari is already going on sideways. A lot of fights is coming up. AXT is being the dominant one. They are actually showcasing that how day number 1 was our one of those forte.
AXT, this particular squad is looking confident at the moment, and they're pretty much trying to dominate the lobby. I am not really sure how far and how they can go, but at the moment they are at a very confident spot. Couple of players. Yes, Fear has come back. He has made a comeback. I'm not really sure whether he'll be able to get the hands on a gun or not, but it is very crucial. The other guys are definitely going to help him out, but right now, Aim, Jay, and Reborn, 2 guys surviving from the team Ego. These guys are pretty egoistic when it comes to the game, when it comes to the name, but their back is against the wall. We can clearly see a situation of 2v4. There are a couple of guys, there are 2 other guys also surviving. I'm not really sure who these guys are, but Reborn constantly trying to make efforts, constantly trying to take down the players, but now this time it's going to be a tough situation because those guys have started to come at this guy. Reborn is in trouble right now. Akai has pushed him. Zoe, yes, he has taken down Reborn. That was a good push. Shanks in the meantime is also up. Zoe and Shank, 2 guys surviving. The other team, AXT, with 4 guys, they are at a very good spot. Got Toby in the meantime, gets down and dusted. Ferrer, Kando, and Fear. 3 guys surviving, 3 guys alive, 3 guys pushing in. Ferrer wants to lock in the booyah for them, for the team, and wants to secure a couple more strikes before the game gets over. Yes, he most certainly will. And this team AXT gets their hands on a very great booyah in the 3rd game. The match of Kalahari, the map of Kalahari has finally gone in the pockets, in the hands of team AXT. Wonderful performance, mesmerizing, give and take situation. They pretty much, to sum up, they were outstanding in this particular game.
Well, indeed, Ferrer and the other guys were constantly trying their level best to gain those amazing finishes. And apart from getting those finishes, the way they were actually able to safeguard each other was absolutely amazing. We always talk about this energy. We always talk about the support that has to come from the back end. And that's what these guys were trying to go for. That support system never let us down. That support system was never actually being, let's say, off guard. Every single player of Team AXT once again was able to support each other. And that is how this whole beautiful Puya comes up in their hands. But right now, it's all about the consistency. They have to maintain this as far as it can go. As far as they can actually drag this consistency, they have to go with it. Because 1 more day and 4 more matches for this day as well is left right now. So a total of 11 matches are left. And in these 11 matches, you have to prove your worth. You have to be in the top 3. And then only the next phase is going to be in front of you.
Indeed. We still have a couple of more matches to go. We are on with the 4th match of the day. That's going to be Bermuda, I believe. As always, it's going to be Bermuda, the home ground for every single Free Fire Max player. But Team AXT, talking about Team AXT, the way you narrated their standpoint, it was great. The way they played, it was mesmerizing. From the start until the very end, they kept on surviving. They kept on staying together, staying put.
Right.
And the way they got into the fight, it was amazing. They were very confident from the start. It clearly reflected the way they performed, and we are expecting same sort of a performance in the next game from the side AXT as well. But there's another question that comes into play whenever we have so many teams in the lobby, so many great names, I should rather say, because Booyah is always contradictory part. We cannot simply name one particular team and simply predict one particular name. So in the chat section, every single guy, every single viewer that is watching, I want you to predict. It should be a wild shot. It should be a blind shot. I know right now, as casters, we are not in a position to take a blind shot. And clearly, we should rather not take it. But as viewers, guys, you guys can clearly take one shot. Please tell us in the comment section which team do you think is going to get the booyah in the 4th match. But right now, we are about to get started with the rumble in the 4th match. That's going to be Bermuda, the home ground for every single Free Fire Max player. Every single corner, every single cover, every single ridge. These guys know it all.
Well, I guess when you play that particular map from the start, I guess you have to actually know every single ridges, every single compound that you actually have in the Bermuda's map. So it is going to be quite crucial to see that how these players are going to gel with it and eventually perform accordingly. Because getting those points is not going to be an easy task. We already have passed out close to 10 matches to be precise, and these matches were quite crucial. The fights went out quite crucially. But now, as far as the matches are concerned, look, things are looking quite good. 30 more seconds to go. After that, the fight path will come in, and eventually you will see that way these amazing teams are jumping in. I would love to see AV Radicals once again performing because they are group shuffles to be precise, so they might not be in the lobby. But then again, the way AV Radicals is able to get some good points in their favor is looking very sharp. See, I was able to see performance coming from QR's corner as well, FX's corner as well. AXT was able to get the booyah as well. But one team which is striking it out altogether without getting any booyah is Team AV Radicals, because in the day number one, 3 booyahs from their corner, 123 points in a single day in 7 matches that they've played. So that was actually another achievement. But right now, if we talk about day number two, that's today. In the Philippine qualifiers, you can already see AV is still having 41 points. They are still reigning on top. But I guess they were not there in this particular match, in the third match of Kalahari. So that actually is going to turn some tides for them as well. But as per the management, I guess the group shifts have been designed in some ways, in a particular way, so that we can actually see equal amount of maps getting distributed in these teams. So yeah, it is going to be quite crucial to play every single match and attain every point possible in every single match as well.
Indeed, indeed. Every single time, every single guy is going to put their efforts in to win the battle. Right now, what we can see is that a straight line path from going Hanger towards the mill area, Bhima Shakti Strip. Couple of teams will definitely go towards the Bhima Shakti Strip area. Katlot Seva was around the plane path area, so the teams will be quite comfortable to go and take drops at the Katlot Seva area. Kiretan as well. These guys, Pipanda, AV team, this particular team, as the name says, Radical. These teams clearly they want to get their hands at the booyah. They want to get their hands at the number of frags as much as they can. But right now, Team Ego, we have spotted a couple of guys right in front of them. Let's see whether Ego survives or the other team takes Ego down. In the meantime, they're still moving towards, I believe, Kiratan area, because that was the last place that a team could go. Right now, Ego Reborn, he has trying to take down the players, trying to take shots, but it is a 1v2 situation. Unfortunately, a couple of shots it did connect, but in return, 2 guys came in, and in the crossfire, Reborn gets taken down. Eventually, Reborn will be reborn, but right now, the question is whether Team Ego with the 3-man is going to survive.
Well, definitely we are going to get an answer for that particular question really very soon. But if we talk about Team Ego, as per the fights, Ego is still failing to get any kind of booyah. In the first 2 matches, this team was actually going out at #2nd position. That means 9 amazing points for that position was absolutely there in their corner. But apart from that, this team is unable to get any kind of, let's say, booyah. So this match could be one of those maps where the situation can actually turn out quite well for this particular team. But apart from that, we also have Team Ft.Av in the close calls. So then again, the casualties might actually rise. But unfortunately, this team is not being that close to the enemy.
All right. Ego still surviving, still alive and kicking. Vita in the meantime. Let's go. Sheila, and MCDO. These guys moving in towards the mill area, and clearly, since they are at a confident and comfortable spot, we can clearly deduce that there's no drop clash over there. No enemy was there, and they will be closing in. They'll move inside the circle confidently and pretty much with a good loot as well. Moving towards the Riverside area, I believe. Riverside area, that is a spot where there is a good chance that a couple of guys would be there, but I'm not really sure, because right now the way these teams have been playing, they're pretty much putting it all in the rotation. They want to get to a good spot and wait for the frags to come in, take the bait, and they'll take down the players. So this is by far, I would say, a good strategy for these teams, but I'm not really sure if it is really useful in the long run. Every time if you come up with a one single strategy as a whole, it does not give you a great advantage. But BH, Morgana, Josh, Kaldi, Keloy, and Voidface, 4 guys. BH unable to open up their account yet, but they most certainly will in the later hours of the game.
Yeah, I think the same for the moment for these particular teams. I guess they are actually going to perform equally well right now. They are just waiting for the right moment to strike on. QR, if we talk about this particular team, after getting an amazing booyah, right now the consistency at stake. Blank is there, Zoe is already out of equation, so obviously that recall should be done and dusted soon enough. Apart from that, Vector is one of those guns that has been used up, and the close calls, if we talk about Onios, he has been taken down. Zoe, after this particular guy's loss, this team is not looking that comfortable in terms of their aggression, but definitely they are actually moving up to cut the deal short. And really very soon, I believe those situations are actually going to come up. As you all can see, more and more shots have been delivered. Eagle is actually damaged a little bit more. His HP is not looking that strong, but then again, definitely he's actually trying his level best to bounce back from the stand.
Bounce back. They would definitely be trying to bounce back and secure some more frags, secure some more points, and put up a great number of points in the points table and ladder up when it comes to the overall point standing. But it is going to be very crucial for the day. H2G in the meantime, Batman. I can see Batman. I can see Jay-Z and Forbids and Ares. Okay, great names there. Let's see whether this team brings up great game as well, and I'm expecting great game from this particular corner. Great name, Batman. Batman. The team currently is short of many other guys from the team Justice League, but let's see. Forbids and Ares and Jay-Z will definitely do the number on the other opponents.
Well, I believe in that as well. The fights are actually going to be in, and it is going to be quite an amazing one to actually talk about. This team's name is hard to get, and yesterday we saw that how this team justifies their name because they were unable to catch up. There was nobody who was able to catch up except AV Radicals. Right now, as you all can see, as per the live standings, QR is actually on top with 54 points for this particular day. Remember, this is the stats for today's day. AV Radicals is at hashtag second position with 43 points. Ego is still remaining at the third position with 41 points. WL there is there with 33 points at hashtag fourth position. QRV, okay, sorry, that's I guess ORV or DRV, I guess that's here with 33 points in the matches that they've actually played for today. AXT with 28 points. One single match that they played, they were taking 28 amazing points. That's interesting. FX with only 23 points. If we talk about S2G, 20 points from their corner as well. VH is actually having 17 points. V is having 15. SF is 13 points. And FNO fails to join any single match in today's day. That is why they are still empty-handed with 0 points.
FNO could not join in. That's why they have 0 point. But if you talk about the difference between hashtag 1 and hashtag 2, from 9 to 11, and constantly this particular difference is going to be built and it's going to be bigger. QR with 54 points, AB with 43, Ego with 41. We can clearly see that the second and third spot are looking confident, and there are equal chances that by the end of the day, these teams may come on top. But after the third spot, the difference is pretty big. So it will be a tough battle for them to come in the first spot. But right now, H2G, they've lost their number altogether. But at the very same time, they tried to bring back their man number. Jay-Z has come back. Jay-Z has made a comeback. But AB, you were talking about AB in the initial corner, in the initial circles. All the 4 guys are still alive and surviving. I'm also expecting a great comeback from this particular team. I'm also expecting a great booyah with good number of frags in this particular game, with a balanced number of frags indeed. Because as I've always put pressure on this particular thing, that you need to have survival points along with good number of kills. Both, if you manage to get both the numbers, you manage to get at the top 3 spot. If not, then probably top 3 spot is not for you.
Well, indeed, consistency in terms of these situations is actually going to be quite crucial for these particular guys. So let's see how they're going to enact on that. Team AV Radicals once again is trying their level best to connect some good shots. For October Remel, he's also trying to figure out that way the enemy is lurking from and getting some good goals. It's not going to be that easy for them, but yes, of course, they are still collecting some good points. That's interesting. 2 amazing kill for Remel for the moment. He's still moving up ahead. Getting some good points is going to be the only aim for this particular guy. He's moving up ahead, gaining some good points is easy. FX, if I talk about this particular team, 2 easy is going to be the only guy which is still surviving. I guess recall is something that he can actually go for, but 12 tokens is what is going to take to bring back the teammates in the game. Ego, Shan is there, Reborn 99 is there, AimJ is there, Mice is actually going to be there. Every single player from this particular team is once again aiming for the booyah. They are failing to get it, but then again the aim is going to be constant, getting that booyah.
Try until you succeed. That's the motto of every single team in the lobby, and that is what they are up to. Ego Reborn has been reborn in the game. He was the first frag in the game. He was the first guy to take the knock and got dusted right away. But right now, this team will be planning to make a comeback. And yes, as you said, they must be eyeing towards the Booyah. H2G as well. They are also heading towards the Booyah, gaining back their number, gaining back their man number with the advantage. But the fight is not over yet. It is not over until it's over. And he this time Forbids has spotted a guy, but unfortunately missed the shots. And if you keep on missing such easy shots, it's gonna be a tough battle for you. But right now, a couple of shots being taken at the guy Forbids. Let's see, Jay-Z has closed the deal. Yes, he came close and sealed the deal for the team. Forbids looking very happy at the moment, enough to loot a couple of good guns as well. M249 and Vector, both the guns absolute beast in the close quarters, and pretty much giving a good advantage in the role Forbids plays for the team. He is known to be the close nader, I would say, or rusher, and he needs good good artillery in the close quarters. So AXT, meanwhile, last game AXT was pretty confident the way they played, managed to get their hands at the Booyah, but in this game they're also trying to build in again.
Well, definitely, as you said, that utilities and the right kind of gun, the mixture of those utilities is going to be quite crucial. And if that actually is not there, I guess the player is not going to perform at its potential, at its peak. So yeah, let's see what eventually happens and how these utilities are going to get the fights done and dusted. For the moment, if we talk about Team Bloody Head, this particular team is also trying to figure out that how to be in the zone. And meanwhile, being in the zone is not going to be the only goal. Getting some good finishes is also going to be quite important. But the new meta that has been established right now in this particular arena is going to be that play outside the particular zone until and unless the zone pushes you out to the particular next tier zone. So I guess that is something which is actually going to come with its own advantages and disadvantages as well. Advantage is going to be that you are not going to confront any type of enemy. You can easily backstab the enemies which are landing in the areas and trying their level best to just be in the particular play zones, because they are also going to get damaged like you. And then again, the only disadvantage of this particular situation is going to be that you are also going to be one of those teams which is going to be on the edge and going to be receiving a lot of shots. And that's what is actually happening. As you can see, one good member from Team BH has already been taken down. Josh is already out of equation. H2G is one good member, has also been connected. That means hard to get is also getting a little bit more easy to get.
Indeed, BH, Keloy, Voidface, Morgana, 4 guys, and you can see Keloy with 3 frags. And still, at this point of time, there are a couple of guys with 0 frags. Morgana gets down and dusted. Vita with the very first frag of the game. Morgana gets makes a comeback right away, but AXT is not looking very good at the moment. And what we can clearly see is that Team Ego is alive and kicking. They're trying to build in. They're trying to come with a Booyah this time with good number of frags. I'm not really sure how many frags they've already managed to secure in this particular game, but whatever be the number, they are currently at a good spot. Ego, yes, a couple of good number. I could get my eyes on the number of frag they've secured. Ego constantly alive, constantly building. We are down to 14 men, and after this game we are still left with 3 more games. So 3 more chances for these teams to build a couple of good number, to build in a good number in the points table. I'm not really sure which team is going to dominate, but so far we can clearly see a couple of teams that are sitting on top.
Well, Morgana, the moment he decides to go in that house, gets connected, gets knocked out. But now, right now, from Keloy is going to be another guy who's going to survive for this particular fight, and he's the only man, only myth, only legend surviving for this particular team. Definitely, the survival is not going to be a piece of cake. And look at that, some probables are coming up. Shanks was able to eliminate one more member, that's Morgana, and Morgana is now out of equation. The remaining guy is going to be Keloy. He has to go for the recall, but I don't think so that the enemy is going to help him do that kind of stuff. He's definitely going to get connected as soon as he gets spotted. Right now, glue walls are the only thing which is actually helping him a lot, but there we go. The push comes in. He might be able to knock one out, but no, it's not going to be a piece of cake for him. Just like that, QR once again comes up with some amazing throws, and now they are surviving with some amazing finishes as well. This is rain number 2, match number 4. Bermuda is already here right now, and remember, guys, next 3 matches are going to be one of those crucial matches where you are going to witness the final closure for day number 2. And remind me that the next 3 matches are going to be Purgatory, Kalahari, and Alpine as well. So obviously Alpine is, along with Kalahari, is going to be a game changer type of situation coming up.
Fourth game down to 10 men, but QR in the meantime is looking at a good spot. It's a positive approach for the team, the way they are trying to hold their man numbers sitting on the edge of the circle. Right now, they are at a very good spot, but I would like to see the other teams as well. In the meantime, Ego is still surviving. It's a 4v4 situation, if I'm not wrong. QR with 4 guys, Ego with 4 guys as well. Ego in the meantime on the other side of the corner, we can clearly see 8 frags from the team Ego, and this team has done it once, they can clearly do it again. QR versus Ego. Is it going to be Ego to win the battle to get their hands at the booyah, or it's going to be QR from the far distance? Ego Shan got couple of shots got the shot did get connected to Shan, but couldn't make any difference. Reborn as well, trying to move and trying to make a difference, but it's still a tricky call because the opponents are somewhat on the edges of the circle, while Ego in the meantime is trying to survive. They are struggling to enter the circle. They have managed to come to the edges of the circle, but from this point it is indeed very tough for them.
Yeah, as well can see that every single match, Ego is one of those teams which is trying their level best to be in the top 3, and they are getting that position. But after that, somehow they are just failing to get that booyah in their favor. But right now, in this particular match, with the 4-man power, this could be one of those maps where Ego might be able to get that booyah. Let's see what eventually happens. As well can see, treatment pistol as well has been used up. This guy was able to get ready and tag up in this particular fight. Let's see how they're going to convert this particular match in their favor. Glue walls have been appointed. Definitely the enemy is also trying their level best to survive a bit more, because nobody wants to actually give that booyah into the enemy's hand. But right now, still the shot comes in. Definitely trying their level best to put them at the bay. But right now, Team Ego also have to push in. Chrono Shield has been appointed. That means for a moment, for a brief moment, they are going to get the cover. But that definitely won't help them out, because right now they are very open-ended. And QR, okay, this is QR in front of it, in front of Team Ego. So I'm going to just, let's say, predict that QR is going to get the booyah. Let's see what eventually happens. And there we go. QR already gets the booyah.
Okay. At this point of time, commendable job by the team QR. But I would still say that I was expecting Ego to get their hands at the booyah, because from the initial start until the very end, if you keep on building with frags and reaching the
I
final
would like
boss
to step in
battle.
on this, that you thought Ego will get that booyah, but eventually,
Yes.
what is Ego doing? In the past 3 matches, I've talked about Ego. Whatever happens, Ego is there with the 4-man power, no doubt. But when Ego is actually about to approach for the final zone or confront the final enemies, at that moment, Ego is getting splitted. And that is something which actually creates a lot of havoc. See, if I talk about QR's angle, the way they were performing, one good guy was getting shot down, the other was appointing the glue wall so that he can get the cover, he can patch himself. And again, the vice versa. This is how the QR was performing. And in the first match also as well, QR performed in the same exact way. But if I talk about Ego, somehow this team is again getting splitted, again getting way too open-ended. One good guy is trying to push in, the other 3 members is trying to give them backup. What happens? You are unable to give that solo bam also the backup, and apart from that, your position is also getting compromised and that team is getting down. So that is something which is going to create a lot of havoc for this particular team, and the result is in front of you. Every single time this team is able to climb to hashtag top 2 or top 3, but no booyahs for them. In the past 4 matches, Ego is one of those teams which is still failing to get the booyah, and the only reason comes up is the lack of let's say manpower. Okay, the manpower was there in this particular match, but apart from manpower, the thing which was lacking behind is the backup, is the support, is the right way to push forward and get the zone in their favor.
Yeah, clearly they were lacking at the correct finish. They could have finished it in a better way, but as you just said, it was a good observation, I would say, because until the very end, if you reach the end, the things get a little tough, because the final battle is always the boss battle. You have to come up with a good strategy. Every single guy has to put in equal amount of effort, equal amount of contribution in order to win the boss battle, because it is very crucial. It is simply not just about the 3 points gap that is between hashtag 1 the booyah or hashtag 2 12 or 9. It's not about that, but it's about the confidence that you get once you get your hands at the booyah. From the start until this point of time, Ego kept on surviving, Ego kept on fighting, but yes, of course, the final finish, the final blow is required. And at that point, Ego was clearly lacking. On the other hand, QR was amazing from the start until the very end. They kept on surviving close quarters, they kept on giving good covers and good strategy that was being placed, good strategy was being applied, executed, and the final blow was on point as well. So clearly a great game for the team QR. Good luck for the team Ego for the next match. We still have 3 more matches to go. And finally, the 5th match of the day, map of Purgatory, has come up. The Land of Three Islands. It's an interesting map. Always the last circles are interesting enough. And I'm expecting a great match, great level of competition from every single team in this particular match.
Well, definitely, Purgatory is one of those maps which is full of quite amazing places where you can easily get some good loots. Like, let's say, if we talk about areas like Marble Works, Brasilia, or Lumber Mill, these are a few places where you can get some good, decent amount of loots. But right now, if we talk about Team V, as per this particular team, in the first match, they were with the 3-man power. They failed to get any kind of points. In this match, they are again back to the 3-man power. I don't know what is actually happening, but I guess due to some connectivity or some other issues, the other guy was unable to join the lobby. But right now, Team WL once again is here to dominate the fields and already getting crushed by some other team. You can already see some shots are coming up, but from the back end, the backup comes in. Revival is actually going to be quite crucial. And Onyx is back in the game, but they go with that Thompson. Invoker gets the first frag.
WL Onids is back up. WI is looking good. See, in the early quarters, okay, that was quite a change. The very moment I took the name of Onids, he gets taken down yet again. I believe Invoker is again going to save him, yes, from the out of harm's way. Onids is back up again. But a couple of shots are being connected on Invoker. And Invoker is not exactly in trouble, but the tides may turn against them anytime, because this is how uncertain, this is how tough the battle in this particular game is. BH in the meantime sitting confidently, quietly at the ski lodge area. Vita, 4 guys, Hawkeye, MCDO, Sheila. Let's see. Couple of shots being taken, couple of frags being incurred. Not really sure which team is going to make it in this particular game, but I'm really curious about the overall point standing after the day.
Yeah, definitely. Overall point standing is going to be something we have to watch out for, and eventually these are a few teams which are actually going to watch out for that particular perspective as well. Hawkeye on the other hand managed to put one down. That means Team Beta is actually slowly but steadily gaining some good points, and they are trying to put forth their synergy into the work. But right now, if we talk about Team H2G, Batman, Jay-Z, Hobbits, and if we talk about Aries, these are the few members which are just surviving, waiting for the right moment to just strike on and get some good, amazing blows in their favor. Let's see how the whole situation will be getting carried away. WYS is already getting knocked out. I guess Team FNO2 Speed is the squad that we were talking about, and right now you can see that Neon is going to be the only guy still surviving. Let's see how this player is actually going to get converted.
These guys, AXT. I'm expecting AXT to come up with a good game in this one as well. As we saw in the third game, AXT was pretty confident, and the best part, from the start, from the scratch until the end, they kept on maintaining the man number, which was very crucial, because the ultimate battle was a 2v4 situation where AXT clearly dominated. Right now, AV, high hope from this particular team as well, because since you've already appreciated Team AV in the last match, I'm expecting same level of confidence from the team, because as the caster, whenever a caster analyzes and observes one particular team, it clearly is a good team, and because of that only a caster does all the appreciation for that team. But right now BH is in a bit of trouble. Keloy as well, Morgana being the last man standing. Where is Morgana? Morgana is needed. Morgana is surviving, and he will fall back, escape, and try to bring back the guys. Keloy, Whiteface, Josh, they are out of the lobby right now, but Morgana is still surviving, so a couple of hopes are still there for the Team BH. But right now, Team QR. Let's see whether this game is going to be with the Team QR or not.
The two good boys from the corner for this particular day will always be, let's say, amazing to watch out. And then their performance is already being embraced by the particular lobby as well. Blank Zoe, Shanks, Eagle. These are the four-man power still residing in this particular matchup. Trying their level best to gain some good points is the only thing which is going to be there. But AXC started popping off. AV's Wine has been taken down. That's a sad side to watch. He may be Radicals is once again falling short to getting that booyah and eventually getting connected quite early in the particular matchup. Is it going to be AXT trying to overpower, or is it going to be Team AV Radicals, a radicalized gameplay, which is going to cut short really very soon? We are going to witness that kind of stand. Currently, if we talk about Team Beta, they are also looking strong. They are also trying and being confident at this moment. Well, there we go. Some shots have been exchanged, and CTO is already getting connected. Will he be able to survive is something we all want to know. And apart from that, I think we just want to see more and more clashes coming up. If those clashes are there, we are going to witness a lot of bloodshed. And if the bloodshed are there, that will be very, very amazing to watch out. But as far as that concerned, delivered. Sheila has already been taken on. Both of the Sheilas are out of equation. Now, if we talk about MCTO, he is still surviving, but not at a very good HP, not at a very good site. Hawkeye also gets connected now. MCDO is going to be the last one standing, and finally he also gets connected. Just like that, Team Veta is out of equation in a second. The whole team has been scattered. I guess not even 1 minute was taken, and already the whole team is out of equation. That's a sad sight to watch. Just like that, the bloodshed comes in, the fight actually comes in, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm actually literally really very sad to see teams like Veta getting falling short too easily and too early. If we talk about Team Ego, this could be one of those matches where Ego once again goes in the top 2 and gets diminished at hashtag second position and gives the booyah to the another team, because that's what actually this team is living up to. We have got WL, we have got Invoker, we have got Onyx moving up ahead. This team wants to chase more and more points. Let's see, is it going to be a possibility or not? That's something we all want to know. For the moment, Team WL Spain is also a little bit outside the particular play zone. He was getting punished by the play zone, but finally decides that he has to actually approach the play zone and get some good close calls of his own. The vending machine is here right now, definitely going to give them a lot of utilities as far as the tokens are concerned. This is day number 2, match number 5. Purgatory is already in front of our screens. Excluding this one, we are going to witness 2 more matches. QR is on the top with 78 amazing points. Ego with 58 points is actually at the second position. AV with the 56 points. Ego and AV are one of those teams which are not getting any booyahs but still being in the top 3. That's amazing to watch out. WL, after getting some amazing good points, 37 points is there. H2G with 37 points. EXT, despite of getting 1 booyah, this team is actually at the 6th position. ORV is at the 7th position with 34 points. BH is 33 points, and hashtag 8 is the position that they are looking up to. FX, after getting the first ever booyah for day number 2, they are at the 9th position, if I'm not wrong, with 31 points. SF with 19 points, V with 15 of their own, FNO2 speed with only 3 points for the day. They are also trying their level best to gain some good points, but for the moment, FNO2 speed is not looking that great in terms of the leaderboard, because at the end of the day, leaderboard is something which is going to showcase us at what your performance was like in an average amount of matches, in a set amount of matches, because you can be quite exceptional and quite aggressive in terms of performance in a single match, but in the next match you might be going down soon enough, and that is something which is going to be quite crucial to see in the leaderboard, because as we talked about it, leaderboard will show us that in a set amount of matches how your team performed. And there are not, let's say, just 1 or 2 or 3 matches. We are having 7 matches per day, a total of 21 matches per day, and in those 21 matches we are going to witness what happens and how the connectivities are going to get established. QR 78 points, Ego 58 points, AV 56 points, WL 37 points, S2G as well 37 points. AXC also goes in for the same amount of score. And remember guys, in this one, placement point doesn't matter that much. You have to get some more kills eventually if you want to be on top, even if the teams are having same points. Like let's say WL, S2G and AXC are the 3 teams which are having the same amount of point right now. If you want to be on top, you have to have some good kill points in your favor, not the placement point as per the other games. In this one, in the Free Fire Max, you have different type of meta. You have to get the kill points higher than the other team which is having the same amount of point.
Indeed. But there's one thing that is very constant at the moment, is that the difference between #1 and #2 constantly building. During the 3rd match, it was 9 point. After the 4th match, it got up to the 11, and now we can clearly see that the difference of 20 points is there. So clearly, Team QR alive and surviving, constantly building. But at the moment, Team AXT a bit in problem, yet to enter the circle, yet to go inside the circle. But they are down to 2 men, Kandho and Furrer, 2 guys waiting for a couple of tokens, which is really needed in order to get God, Toby and Fear back in the game. TMXT, they've managed to get their hands at one booyah. They want to do it again. In the meantime, there's this new team Gap, Mac, Orion, Midria, alive and surviving. But right now, the problem is with the team AV. Wine last man surviving, Wine last man standing, wanting to bring back the players. But is it possible? I'm not sure. Fingers crossed. But again, the circle I've always talked about, the circle is moving towards half chunk of the circle is on land, and almost half is in the
Well, indeed, I guess Circle is something which is going to be quite crucial to watch out for. Before that, if I talk about one of those teams which was getting some good booyahs in their favor, two booyahs to be precise, right now is getting punished. Shanks is the guy who opens up, who gets amazing blows in his favor right now. But again, the revival is about to be there. Eagle is actually going to get risen. And yes, of course, Eagle is once again going to hover aboard and get some good points of his own. But right now, we'll talk about Zoe. He's also back in the game. Blank is the only guy who is going to become the loss for the team. FNO2 speed once again is back in the game. Let's see how much more point they can actually gain. Booyah is something which is going to be a little bit more shaky for this particular team, but two good members from team FNO2 speed are already in the zone. They're already calibrating that particular zone. And meanwhile, if we talk about Neon and the other guy, which is a little bit outside the particular play zone, are getting ready and revved up and prepped up to be precise to attack on the teams which are in the compounds.
Team WYS, Vincero, Monk, Mahao, and Nyon. Four guys. Circle is very crucial at the moment because almost, I would say, 30 to 40% of the circle is in water. It's a little bit of circle is on the smaller island, and the big one is still on the other side. A major chunk, it is going to be very complicated and crucial and critical at the moment for every single guy. The rotations are going to be very tough, the movements are going to be very tough, and it's going to be a tough battle to begin with at the moment. WYS, they are almost on the edge of the circle. I would say they are at a confident spot, but right now, any team that goes on the bridge is going to get shots, is going to get targeted by every other team in the lobby right now.
Well, definitely those shots are going to be there. Those calibrations, those connections are for sure going to be there. When you try to cross over the bridge, when you try to cross over with the sliders as well, shots for sure are going to be there. So these are a few things which can be very, very chaotic for these particular guys. AXT, as you remember, was the team which actually was able to dominate quite a bit in the previous few matches. But right now, if we talk about more ORV as well, Mac has been taken down. Now the last man standing is actually trying his level best to flee from the scenario, find out a vending machine, get some good tokens, and eventually res out the teammates. But right now, I guess the play zone is something which us as a caster, we as a caster are going to love, because right now, as well, you can see the play zone is not certain that where is the direction going to go on. Is it going to be on the northern direction, or is it going to be on the southern direction? Or if the flight path comes, if the actually play zone goes on in the water body, that could be also very, very amazing to watch.
AV Wine, last man surviving, but WL in the meantime, it is looking confident with good number of frag. Invoker with 6 frag. It's a good number. I want to see what I can clearly see is that 11 frags and a couple more frags as well in the team. FX in the meantime, Gozo and GZ, 2 guys surviving, 2 guys alive, and 3 more frags. I would say 12, somewhere around 14 to 15 frags in the game. Looking confident with the best part about that particular team is that all the 4 guys are still surviving. In the meantime, what we can see, Orion, last man standing from the team OH, AV Wine, last man surviving, and best part about this particular survival is that he is almost in the center of the circle. It's going to be very crucial. Wherever the circle goes, I think Wine is going to get at least the edge of the circle. Regardless, he would still be favored by the circle, and from that point, I think he can clearly go up to the, if not second, then at least third to fourth spot. He can clearly go, he can secure some more points from there, and from that point he may get some more frags if in case he dares. But right now, Gozu was daring enough to try and bring some picks for his team, but unfortunately gets taken down from the back. WL looking confident. Invoker on its Paul and Pain clearly trying to get in, moving with a couple more frags, but Invoker in the meantime is looking absolute beast at the moment.
Well, indeed, every now and then these guys are trying to become the giant, become the behemoth, and eventually, as well can see, shots are being connected. Paul and Onits are trying to push forward with the beautiful vehicle, trying to actually slam on blue walls and get some good points. So of their own. Let's see, is it going to be a possibility? I believe that could be a possibility like that. As you can see, shots are being still delivered, but four amazing kills from this particular guy. Is going to be Team QR once again trying to go for the booyah with the 4-man power, but Blank has been decimated. Shanks is about to go down. Eagle is already getting punished quite a bit. Zoe is actually going to be one of those amazing guys who are still forwarding and pushing forward. And as you can see, the points are coming up. Beautiful knockout from M1887, and that was amazing. But from the back end, the support also comes in. The support system can be quite critical. The damage is looking surreal, but still another knockout comes in with some beautiful throws of their own. Team QR might be able to rise. Look at the enemy. Look at how Team GM. So Zoe is actually performing with that M187. He's wicked sick. He's performing. He's getting some good points of his own, but those throwables are also impacting quite a bit. As you can see, the connections are coming up, no doubt in that. But with that M187, he can easily repeat the history. The way he took two good members from Team WL, I believe, same can actually happen to the third one as well.
At the moment, GM Zoe, last man surviving, last man standing. It's a tough situation. I think Shanks is also there. So Zoe and Shank, both the guys are in a pretty good spot right now. It's a 1v2 situation. Where is the one last guy? Where is the last guy? The circle has shifted away from these two guys. But Wine is still surviving. This is quite a surprise for us. Wine, his position was disclosed. He had given away his position, yet see, this is the circle. This is the matter of favor. The circle has clearly favored. The gods of Free Fire has favored the Wine. But unfortunately, Zoe is not going to favor him anymore. He is going to do a number, and he has literally snatched away the booyah from the hands of Wine. It was a doable situation, I would say. Wine, because he already came out of a great situation where he was absolutely against so many giants. He was one last guy surviving. From top 15 guys surviving to the top 3, hashtag 2 spot, he has managed to come a long way from that particular spot. Clearly, Wine, I would say, all the appreciation to this last man. He survived so well. Could have done that, but unfortunately, he could not. Yet again, the booyah went to a well-deserved team.
QR, they are going to be one of those amazing teams which have attained 3 booyahs out of 5 matches that they've actually played. It's absolutely amazing how this team is performing right now. 2 more matches to go. I would not be surprised to see another booyah coming from this particular team. The way they are performing, the synergy, even though the manpower is not there in the last few circles, they are able to dominate. I guess QR, GM Zoy, actually, that particular guy turned out the tides quite well. WL was in front of them. If I'm not wrong, a Blank was already taken down. Shanks was about to go down. The other guy, that is the third man power, is also about to go down really very soon. Damage was actually done and dusted. But what happened? Zoe out of the blue comes up with M187, devastated the particular enemy, and just like that, WL was also out of equation. And finally, the last man standing from Team AV Radicals was also in front of him. He was also taken down because it was a 1v2 type of situation, although it's a doable type of situation. Yesterday we see people from AV doing a 1v4, but right now, today, what is happening? No idea at all. But then again, I'm happy to see another team dominating like AV Radicals as of, because QR has actually come up with 3 booyahs for the day. If I'm not wrong, first match was there in their hand, and after that, third one was actually there in the hands, and 5th one is there. I guess they're playing the odds. Alpine could be in their hands.
Indeed. We are expecting the same. Everybody is expecting the same. At the same time, every single guy that is watching the match and the tournament and the English desk, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being the part of this awesome journey, Asia Cup. But there's a request I would like to make. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the stream. We are very close to 200 likes mark. Please hit the like button, and let's all reach the 200 mark milestone together in this game. We are down with 5 matches, 2 more to go. The third one, the second last one, is going to be Kalahari, and after that we'll have one good map that's going to be Alpine. From today onward, the Alpine map is about to get introduced in this lobby, and the Alpine map is an interesting one. Alpine, nobody knows what sort of strategies will be there, which team is going to make it, which teams are going to have a drop clash, but all we know is that the action is going to be constant. The action is not going to stop. We are all up with the 6th match of the day about to begin. Kalahari, the map of magic, the map of comeback, the map of luck, where every single guy who has not done much in the game so far tries to make a comeback, tries to make a name out of the game. But Kalahari, I'm very excited for the match.
Well, definitely the excitement is actually going to blow the roofs because at this moment, this is day number two. Already going to pass down soon enough. Two more matches to go. Kalahari once again is going to be one of those maps which is known for its versatility, known for its high ridges
Yes.
and eventually areas like Red Desert and eventually lower amount of compounds, higher amount of loots in some open areas as well. So obviously a lot of things can actually go south in Kalahari region. So we are going to witness how the Kalahari map which actually will come up. And apart from that, Alpine. Just like yesterday, today Alpine is also going to be quite crucial to watch out. Yesterday also Alpine was like a trump card. We were not expecting that map to come up, but all of a sudden from the production and we got to get the news that Alpine is going to be there, includingly Alpine was quite crucial. The map full of the snow cap area was absolutely amazing. But right now we are going to witness Kalahari. Let's talk about that map because in this particular map we have seen and people have actually showcasing their kind of, let's say, strength in this particular map. And I believe in this map, once again, areas like Santa Catarina, Refinery, and some other areas like, let's say, confinement and command post can be very crucial to play with. You have to choose and you have to actually gel along that which is your favorite area where you want to actually go with because quite a few places are actually going to be there. Like, let's say, for example, Santa Catarina, it's on the edge. You can actually easily go there, have a safe amount of loot, but then again, loot is not going to be that decent. Apart from looting that area, you have to go ahead and get some more loots from the another areas as well and use vending machine as well. So definitely you have to go along with your play style. If you are actually teams like you are going to play a little bit safe in the first few regions, but after that you are going to attack as far as the second zone starts. So obviously you have to choose and allocate your pinpoint precise locations where you want to drop in, but that can actually come up with some clashes as well.
Actually, talking about the good areas, talking about the favorite location in the map of Kalahari, I would always go with the place called Refinery. It's a
Mhm.
good place, and since it is in the center of the map, it
Yeah,
always offers great opportunity to hold there. If you manage to conquer the area of a Refinery, it gives you an edge over many other team because most of the circles, at least I would say, if the circle is ideal, unless the circle is going very out of hands, very unique, most of the 80% of the times, almost 4 to 5 circles are on on you. 80% 4 to 5 circles covers the Refinery area, which gives you an advantage, which gives you at least the position points. And towards the end, if the circle comes to the Refinery area, towards the end 2 circles come on the Refinery area, you get a good advantage over all the other team. You get a better view at the battleground, and from there you can only try to build up with confidence. But right now, the team that is losing confidence is WYS, Vincero, Monk, Panda. All the three guys are down and dusted. Nyan, last man surviving, last man trying to escape. It's hard for this particular guy. It's hard for the young guy to survive from this particular standpoint, but he will most likely try and make it out of this situation.
Well, indeed, I guess the situation is going to be quite crucial to watch out, and eventually the gun games are going to be quite crucial to watch as well. But for the moment, if I'm not wrong, Caldi is still surviving. Void Voice is still there right now. Bloody Head is one of those amazing teams which were providing their exceptionally well performance in the previous day. Day number one good Booyah was there from the corner, but despite of getting that Booyah, they were actually at the second page and they has like 8th position with somewhere around 56, 58 points in their favor. But right now, today's day can be very crucial. Bloody Head fails to showcase their kind of, let's say, strength in the first 5 matches. Last 2 matches can be there in the bag, and if they're eventually getting back and forth 2 good booyahs in this last 2 matches, well, that can easily pump them a lot in terms of the leaderboard. And we already saw that how WL failed to push forward and get QR out of equation.
Everybody would want to get QR out of the equation since QR is pretty much dominating the lobby single-handedly. I'm curious about the overall points right now as of this particular time, as of this particular map. I'm curious about the points table, but AV, if we talk about team AV, moving on to the points table, QR with 108 points. There's a huge gap. First team and the second team, there's a huge gap. A buffer is very high, and clearly QR is single-handedly dominating when it comes to the kill point, when it comes to the survival. There's a huge buffer. Clearly, QR is establishing their name and the game. Wine, Pipanda, 2 guys surviving, Tanamo and Remifi. Both the guys are down and dusted, but still we have Wine and Pipanda. I would say Wine proven himself to be the hero of the last match for AV. At least, let's see. Right now, they're all sitting and holding on tight at the Old Hampton area. The blue zone is right next to them. but the enemies are also right next to them. Vine wants to survive, Vine wants to fight back as well, and this time he has opted to fight back. He has taken down one guy, but he won't close in. Unfortunately, he gets taken down. The last man, Pipanda, managed to bring back the other two guys, and that's the reason Vine went for the risk.
Indeed. Right now, as we talked about the buffer between QR and AV, I guess that clearly shows that how those three Puyas help them a lot. If I talk about AV, I guess Vine is going to be back in the game, and that's a beautiful recall, or should I say, revival coming up. Anamo is there. Vine is going to patch himself. Panda is actually going to be a supplementary, let's say, player from this particular fight. That guy has been swapped out. But right now, if I talk about Ramil, that can be quite chaotic. This particular player can easily turn the tides quite a bit. We have seen him turning the tides in his favor every now and then. Now, if we talk about Team FX, the first ever Booyah from FX's corner came today. But even after that, FX is unable to climb in the leaderboard. As you can see, FX and ORB are already holding the same position, although ORB was not having any kind of Booyah in the favor for this day, or should I say the previous day as well. But still, they are remaining at the same position, or should I say same number of points as FX is having. So that actually clearly shows that FX is not being that consistent.
QR with 108 point, AV with 66. The gap is huge. Then we have at the third spot WL with 62 points. So far, apart from QR, if we don't talk about the team QR, apart from the team QR, all the other teams are pretty much consistent. They are pretty much holding good number of points, but the QR is absolutely dominating. See, 108, it's a huge number, and how often do we get to see such a boost? Yes, we do get to see 10 or 20 points maybe, but this clearly is a huge boost, a huge buffer that they've created. And we still are left with two matches. Kalahari is ongoing, and then we'll have the map of Alpine. So they still have an opportunity to even get a further boost and increase the lead with approximately, I would say, not more than at least 20 more points from here on.
Indeed, we are going to witness that kind of scenario as well. If we talk about maybe trying the level best and constantly trying to use that grappling hook as well, which can actually help you a lot in terms of rotation. But then again, some shots coming up. Chrono Shield has been appointed. Definitely not actually making it possible for this particular guy Vine to appoint some good shots. Oh, the knockout still comes in with that G36. He was able to attain some good points in his favor. Right now, this frag is easily going to help him with the triple kill.
Triple kill.
AV looking confident team. AV clearly this team is building on in a nicer manner. But right now, all the four guys have come back. Vine was clearly in a bad spot, but finally Vine has also managed to come back in the game. I've got high hopes from the team AV. I'm expecting a good comeback and a good booyah from this particular team in this particular match, because Kalahari is generally known to be a strong map for the team AV. But still, my hopes don't mean a lot, because the lobby is very tough. The level of competition in the lobby is at its extreme. Ego, in the meantime, they managed to come up with a good game. But yes, as we've talked about earlier, the finish that is required is not there. They're still trying to work on their finish, the way they come into the boss battle. But it's easier said than done.
Well, of course, these situations can be quite tormenting. As far as the pressure is concerned, the pressure is also immense for Team Ego as well, because every now and then Ego is able to touch that top 3 marker, but still failing to get that booyah in their favor. So obviously that is going to be quite frustrating for this particular team. No doubt that being in the top 2, top 3 every single time, every single match that you actually play is absolutely amazing. But then again, every now and then, if you get the booyah as well, that could be like a cherry on cake. But right now, if I talk about teams like, let's say, WL, they are unable to perform, they are unable to get more points. But Invoker makes his name. AXT on the other corner, the team which actually performed quite well in the 4th match, is now getting backlashed. Boy is going to be the last God2Y is going to be the last member of this particular team. He can easily go for the vending machine if the enemy allows, and that is something which never is going to happen. You can already see the shot comes in. What a beautiful knockout from M1887. I believe this gun is actually on another level. The meta of this gun is on another level up. But now, if we talk about God2Boy, the HP is not looking that sharp for this player, to be precise. He can be tagged out quite often, but right now the tag didn't came in. Apart from that, grappling hook gun was used up. The enemy is also trying to lurk on the upper ridges of this area, like the towers, to be precise. But let's see how the shot comes up. And if we talk about Team AB after the loss of Tanamo, this team is also going to be much more focused on the Booyah, apart from being one of those teams which is unable to get the Booyahs. But right now, if we talk about this particular player, look at that. If I'm not wrong, that's Raymil. Yes, of course. This guy with 5 amazing kills is back in the charm areas.
Hmm. Let's see, sixth time is going to be the charm or not. Ego, in the meantime, all the four guys alive and surviving. They are yet to make it inside the circle. But right now, Ego Reborn is trying to fight. Yes, he has taken down one more guy for the team. Reborn, Shan, Aimjay, and Mice. Four guys were pretty confident around the refinery area, but now it's time to go inside the refinery area because somewhat a little chunk of refinery is inside the circle. Fighting outside the circle is gonna do good, but it at the same time it brings in a little bit of problems for the team as well because a couple of teams would already be inside the circle and they are all set and ready to do the gatekeeping. And Reborn is still fighting. One more frag for the team. One more guy will be taken down quite easy and confidently. But Reborn this time enough number of crates to loot. Circle is going far away from the team. Circle is going, but since Reborn hasn't been knocked out pretty much a lot of times, so he's pretty confident at the moment. He'll be able to easily make it inside the circle. But the circle speed is pretty much high at the moment. They have to make it inside the circle as soon as possible because if they manage to get inside the circle with a little HP, the other guys will be there to take them down.
Well, definitely it's going to be quite chaotic to see that kind of scenario coming up. 23 players are surviving for the moment. Miles with 2 amazing kills is also looking strong. Moving up ahead, I believe that things can actually change. The tides can be taken down. If we talk about Team WL, they might be evolving from their previous mistakes that they did in the previous matchup. Team QR was able to absolutely devastate them. One single guy was able to do a 1v3 on that particular corner. But right now in this match, Invoker is one of those guys who's actually doing a beautiful 1v3 on the enemy as well. Onyx on the other corner is actually giving some supports. Groza X has been revealed. If I talk about Paul with that ABCD, this gun is absolutely going to be a beast if it actually is appointed in a right way. Invoker is trying to scout forward and eventually learn that where the enemy might be coming from.
WI, Paul, Onyx, Invoker, and Pain. These guys have absolutely been dominating. I would say the way they've been playing, absolute beast. Invoker actually in the last game, the last couple of games, I could clearly see that Invoker has been doing pretty much a great game. He's been performing pretty much in a nicer manner. BH, Keloy, Whiteface, Morgana, Josh, all the four guys as well. They have managed to come inside the circle. Santa Katrina, somewhere around Santa Katrina, they're trying to get behind a cover, get behind a rock solid cover so that they'll be able to get their hands at a couple of more frags from that standpoint. But it's a map of Kalahari. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what the map and the circle awaits. The other guys at the same time, they'll also be trying to make the same move because everybody is looking out for that compound. Whiteface in the meantime has managed to come around a player. Has he taken down the player or not? Not really sure. Josh in the meantime, the very single peak trying to take down the player, but unfortunately I'm not really sure whether they'll be able to make it or not. But in the meantime, Vincero, last man surviving, finally manages to come to the edges of the circle almost. Let's see from here on. I believe he's only going to play like a person because the situation is too tough for him. The situation is too much against him, and from here aggression is not what is needed. He has to play safe. He has to play the game intelligently and play as passive as he can.
Well, definitely, guys. You have to be surviving. You have to be actually figuring out that how you are going to survive and you actually get some good points. Raymil with 5 amazing kills. You are looking confident. Okay, that's not Raymil. That's Vine also with the 5 amazing kills. That means already we can actually decipher that Team AV is on another level. Pipanda on the other corner gets taken down. That substitution was not, let's say, that favorable. But yes, of course, the support from that guy's corner was also coming up. Moving up ahead, Vine and Raymil are actually going to be the only 2 members standing. Let's see how their connectivity will be established.
Team WI. Still, this team is clearly in a confidence situation. 4 guys on his Invoker, Paul, and Payne. All the 4 guys. The best part about this particular team is that they always come in a pack. They always try to make a difference in a pack. Invoker, in the meantime, gets ahead of the team. breaks the pack and gets broken down. Edge of the circle, he gets eliminated. They're down to three men, and if they keep on losing the man number like this, it's going to be a tough battle for them. It is going to be a tough battle indeed, because the other guy, the opponent, the enemies are waiting for them to break their pack, and they are all set and ready to take down the players. This is what they've been doing. This is what they did to Invoker, and Invoker is back at the same time. This is quite a surprise, and this is quite a good thing. But the team is in a pack. But here we go. BH is well with four guys. Is it a plane? Is it a bird? No, it's a free frag for Keloy. But will he be able to take down the player? No, unfortunately, the player survived. The player has tried to escape, and he has managed to escape. But the fight is not over yet.
Well, definitely the fight is just about to be there, and eventually this is actually going to be one of those last zone chaotic clash, which will be very amazing to watch out. Bloody Head is once again back in the top three regions. That's interesting to see that how Morgana and his teammates are going to perform equally well, or there is going to be some kind of discrepancy in their fights. But right now, I believe Daddy was able to get one amazing fight. Second one is about to come in, and there we go. The double kill for Morgana also comes in. That's interesting right now. Bloody Head is actually being very bloody. Getting some good points is going to be the only call out from them. But with that vending machine, I believe somebody is about to be here soon enough on the other corner for talk about Bloody Hell. Bloody Head to be precise, they are still surviving. AV's Wine is going to be the only guy with 6 amazing kills in his backpack. Now it's all about the game of patience. It's all about one of those moments where you let WI and Team PS to fight it up, and eventually after that, when the fight is over, strike some bullets and eventually gain some good points.
Indeed, Voidface, Keloy, Morgana, and Josh. All the four guys, they're playing the game pretty nicely and in an intelligent manner, I would say. They're trying to bait the other enemy. Currently, all what they're aiming at is to get the cover inside the circle, which is very crucial. Every single guy right now has got a good cover. It's not about the glue wall, it's about a rock solid cover, which every single guy has managed to come up with. They're behind the cover. The other guys will have to come out of the circle, come out of the cover, and thereon BH is going to eliminate them. See, this is what I was talking about. The opponent, the enemies are trying to make covers with the glue walls, but
Triple kill.
it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be very hard. And there you go. They're down to 2 men. It's a 2v4 situation this time. BH is currently closing in on them. Onyx is the last man standing. Paulots also gets taken down. And there you go. The final nail in the coffin. The booyah of the sixth match goes to the team BH. Beautiful booyah. Beautiful placement. The way they played the very final battle. It was out of the world. It was amazing, and clearly, it was an intelligent game. How often do you get to see such intelligent game at the very final fight?
It was amazing, to be precise. That is the only thing that can actually decipher how Bloody Head performed. Eventually, in the last few fights, I guess Bloody Head and WL are going to take that tussle, and eventually AV might be able to come on top. But AV's Wine was taken on quite swiftly. After that, what happened? Team WL tries to decipher, tries to gain some good points. They were a little bit on the edge of the zone. They tried to come into the particular place zone, but then they were countered back from Bloody Head's corner. And once again, the synergy worked. Once again, the backup worked. Once again, the support from the enemy, support from let's say within the team actually worked out quite well. And Bloody Hell, just like yesterday, was able to gain one booyah today as well. But it is a little bit late. This is the sixth match. I guess now if Bloody Head is able to get the next one also in their backpack in their consideration, the Alpine, I guess that could actually make a significant mark in the lobby. Otherwise, it's not going to make a significant mark at all because we have seen teams like War FX gaining some good booyahs, but desperately trying to climb on the leaderboard, but failing to do so because getting only one booyah out of 7 matches, and on the other 6 matches, you are gaining only let's say 5 to 10 points in every single match. That won't cut the deal. You have to gain close to 10 to 15 points in every single match, even though if you're not going to get any kind of booyah. But definitely, today's MVP is going to be QR. The way they were performing was absolutely amazing. But yeah, we have to give a huge shout out to Bloodyhead as well for getting this one in the bag.
Indeed, indeed. The way Bloody had played, it was absolutely beautiful. The way they end the situation, the way they came up with a great strategy at the last moment. They tried to make the very best use of everything that was at their disposal. Every single cover was occupied by them. The rotations were on point. The frags were on point, and they made the very best use of all the resources that they had. This is clearly the sign of a great team, and I'm expecting this team to do equally good if they manage to come and if they manage to qualify for the next round. If in case they do, next round is going to be an even tougher round where all the big giants from other nations are going to compete. Right now, the Philippine qualifiers are going on, but the next round is going to be among the giants where Indian teams, where Pakistani team, where Bangladesh, where Sri Lankans will be there, and it's going to be a boom performance at that stage. But right now, the current goal is to qualify for the next round. Clearly the teams are at a tough spot. There's one particular team that is confidently building up and confidently establishing their name in the lobby in the upcoming matches in the next round at least. But there should be a couple of other teams which gets qualified to the next round. Which teams are going to, we'll get to see in a couple of days.
Well, indeed, we are going to see those amazing top three teams representing every single nation that has actually trying to take a part in Asia Cup. I believe, if I'm not wrong, 9 nations were there which were taking the part in
Yes.
Asia Cup. So, out of these 9 amazing nations, we are going to witness every now and then 3 amazing teams getting qualified from these nations, representing their respective nations. And eventually, we are going to see another set of battle, another, let's say, carnage coming up in the next upcoming phases. But right now, we have to remember Alpine is about to be here to break the bones of these amazing players, these sports enthusiasts. But yeah, there we go. The flight path comes in. Let's see how it actually happens.
Alpine map. It's going to be an interesting battle for every single guy, every single player in the lobby, because Alpine map is a new one, even though they've played it in the classic scenario. But see, normal matches, normal ranked or unranked matches are very different when it comes to a competitive lobby. In every competitive lobby, there are guys with best of their skills, with a cutthroat competition, putting up every single thing that they've got, every single quality, every single bit of competitiveness in the lobby, which makes the competition, which makes such a huge level a crucial one for them, especially when the stage is too high, when the stakes are too high. It's Asia Cup. It's not about one country who's the best in that in their country. It's about is the best in the Asian continent.
Indeed, Asia Cup is actually going to tell us that who is the champion, who is the one team which is going to wield the title of being a champion of this particular huge continent. Moving upward, if we talk about AV Radicals, out of the 38 players, these players are actually going to occupy the 4 seats. And these are one of those amazing players which can easily turn the tides in their favor. I believe in the live standing, this team is once again going to be in the top 2 positions. But apart from that, if I talk about QR, well, that team is particularly on another level. The 3 amazing booyahs for the day, that team is solely crushing the competition as well. The Namo, Vine, Raymil, Retooks. Yes, of course, Retooks is again brought back in the lobby. Papinda is not going to be in the game. Well, of course, as per the leaderboard, QR becomes the only team to touch that triple-digit marker, touch the century to be precise, with 111 points, and they can easily break the record of 123 points that actually Radicals made yesterday. But no doubt, AV Radicals is also performing quite well in this day as well. 92 points is not a short amount of points in their favor, to be precise. With these amounts of points and 0 booyahs in their favor, this team is already looking quite confident. Apart from that, Team WL with 84 points is there. Ego with 75 of their own. AXT with 64. Bloody Head with that booyah is already jumping quite a bit in terms of the leaderboard standing with 60 amazing points. S2G with 56 points. QRV, or should I say that's ORV, with 45 points, along with FX as well. The same thing actually happens to FX with 35 points, SAF with 28 points, FNO with 19 points, and V is the team with the least amount of points for the day.
I think Bloody Heads, they've got it in them. They can still try to make a comeback and get up to the top 3 spot. But this match is going to be a crucial one for them. If Bloody Head manages to bring the booyah home, bring the glory, and with a good number of frags, they'll be able to have a good standing. They will be able to try and make a comeback. But it's the matter of one match, at least for today. They have to end it up in a good manner. Ego, on the other hand, is trying to push forward, is trying to build a couple of points for them in the overall points table. See, every single team right now is aiming towards the top 3. It's not about who wins or loses. What matters right now is which 3 teams manages to go to the next round, because it's about 9 nations who is the best in the Asian continent. The stakes are too high. We've talked about it They've talked about it in the Pakistani qualifiers as well, in the Indian qualifiers as well. Every single team that is trying to make their way is pushing hard. But right now, H2G is in a bit of trouble. Forbids gets taken down right away, gets eliminated. Jay-Z at the same time gets eliminated as well. Batman is alive and surviving. Batman is kicking up the sand, but let's see whether he'll be able to take down the player. Yes, he has indeed.
Double kill.
He has taken down the player. A little low on HP. Batman has to heal himself as soon as possible because there are other guys as well who are trying to come in and seal the deal. But AXT in the meantime, all the four guys, they've managed to come to the edge of the circle and they will be managing to push forward as well. AXT, a great team, great start, but let's see whether they'll be able to get the hands at a great end or not.
Well, indeed, Team AXC is able to get some good points in their favor as well. But right now, AXC Fear comes up with a blow of his own with that M1014 with an amazing shot. Just like that, was able to take that close quarter fight in his favor. And just like that, he is actually bouncing back. Going to patch himself, going to collect the double kill for him. And now I guess AXT is once again going to get motivated quite a bit. Vino on the other corner was also taken down, I believe. Some shots are coming up, no, not in that. And the A ship along with the safe zone is about to shrink in. And as far as the zone is concerned, it is going to be quite amazing to watch out that how this area will get affected. Tanamo manages to get one more out from the lobby, if I'm not wrong. Raymond is already going to focus on that recall for the teammates. If we talk about Tanamo with one amazing kill, he's back in the game. HPG's Batman is there, JJ is here, Forbeats is going to be there. Ares is also surviving. Batman is way too low on his HP, and world's best detective is already getting shot down. And there we go. He has been taken down, not going to survive any bit. And just like that, Batman is out of equation. Apart from that vending machine, he was still unable to survive. If we talk about Ares, he's back in the game, dropping down from the sky. And Jay-Z is also trying to run forward and towards the vending machine, I guess, is going to be the goal for these particular guys so that they can bring back Batman in the game.
Right now, H2G, Jay-Z, Forbids, and Ares, all the three guys. Forbids has spotted a guy and he's trying to take shots at the guy, but unfortunately unable to connect the shot, unable to get that connection that is very needed right now. They want to bring back Batman, and they will most certainly bring him back, but we can clearly see AXT, they should be moving, they should be making a move towards the circle, but the circle is not so far away. Finally, car, a beautiful vehicle over there, that's quite a stylish vehicle, and this is only going to give them an advantage, a quick boost to go and move inside the circle. But right now, eyes on the guys Forbids. You can see Forbids moving in, couple of guys coming in from the front militia area as well, being occupied by the guys AXT. They finally managed to at least hit the edge of the circle, but it's going to be a tough battle once they enter the circle because there are so many guys already inside the circle. We're down to 28 men. 28 is a good number, Raider. It is going to make a difference. It is going to, some guys are at least going to be sitting on the edges, trying to do the gatekeeping, trying to add up a couple more frags in their name in the points tally, which is really the one that is going to make the difference.
Indeed, that could be the speculation. But right now, if we're talking about EX, we'll push forward. We've got Kando and Fear pushing in the same vehicle. If we're talking about Team Bloody Head, once again, this team wants to be dominant for the first few equations. And after that, when the Booyah comes in, they might be able to clutch it out. So let's see how Whiteface and Morgana is actually going to perform. If we're talking about Ego as well, they are also going to get connected. QR, once again, one of those amazing teams, is losing Shanks for the moment, but it is way too early. He can easily be back in the game. He can easily come back and push through and get some good blows for his particular team. A little bit outside the particular play zone, already getting damaged with the play zone as well. The surprise is actually coming up, and I believe Blank and his teammates are already getting confined by the enemy. And there we go, the shots are coming up. Knockout might be delivered soon enough, but then again, the way this player is actually chasing is amazing. GM Zoy managed to get one knockout, but he fails to help out his teammate. But Joy can actually come back with some good shots, and we already have seen how Zoy can be one of those players who can easily bring back his teammates to the game. But Zoy wants to fall back for the moment, I believe.
WI again, Invoker on its ball. They managed to get to the #2 spot in the last game. This time they'd definitely be eyeing to that one spot, that is a Booyah #1. I'm not really sure whether they'll be able to make it, but right now they are at a confident spot. They are at a good spot. They are trying to build in, even though they've only they've only secured one single frag, but that's all right. We still have a couple more frags on the table on which they can get their hands at. But right now, Ego, okay, they've already lost their man number. They've lost their entire advantage that they had. Raymil and Red Doors, two guys are surviving. They are far away from the circle, far away, incurring the damage from the blue zone, which is not really the ideal situation. I think either they should directly go for the revive or they should try and go for the circle. Tanamo is back in the game. Ego Aim Che is trying to do the same thing. He's trying to bring back the players Reborn, Shan, and Mice. If only he managed to get one more guy back, it is going to be a good one. But no, one was not the lucky number. He manages to get all his guys back on the feet. All the four guys are again back in action.
12 tokens used wisely. The people are back in the game. The teammates are back in the action. And I believe with this, the Ego is actually going to perform once again quite luckily. But if I talk about Team WI, Invoker on its Paul Pain. These are the four manpower still trying to figure out where the enemy might be lurking on. Now the fights are actually going to get delivered from. If I talk about Team H2G, hard to get to be precise is the name of this particular squad. Batman, Jay-Z. Forbits is out of equation, but barely out of equation to be precise because he can be brought back to be precise, just the way Team Ego's member was actually coming back. He can be recalled in the game. Ares is already trying to confine that area. Batman is already back in the game. He's trying to figure out that way the enemy might actually lurk. He has to patch himself. He has to get the boosters done and dusted. But SVD, another beautiful gun with one tap shot, can easily turn down the tides, and that's what he is actually going to look up to. Apart from that, the other gun, maybe P90 if I'm not wrong. So yes, of course, the gun game will be surreal from these particular teams. But for the moment, I guess a lot of persistence has to be delivered. A lot of, let's say, lack of survival has been shown from quite a few teams. But if I talk about team hard to get or teams like AXT or QR or other teams like FX, they are actually one of those teams who are constantly trying their level best to aim on the survival points as well. And apart from that, they are also hunting for the finishes.
Triple kill.
Is also down. Wine yet again, last man surviving. I wonder how Wine is so unlucky that he is the last one always to take the knock or to take the beating. He is always the last guy who somehow survives but gets taken down. Right now, Team Ego, all the four guys are back. We're down to 24 guys. The best part and the unique part about the current circle is that the players are getting eliminated, yet they are being revived. Clearly, some guys are still sitting outside the zone. They are outside the blue zone, incurring the damage, trying to bring back their teammate, trying to bring back their players to get the advantage and to make the difference. If only it does. Let's see, Ego. All the guys are back in action, but the guns are really important. They have to have their hands at the guns. Mice, couple of frags, couple of shots are being taken at this guy, but right now he is comfortably managing to pop up a glue wall to make cover for himself.
Indeed, he is trying his level best to maintain those covers so that he can attack more and more and eventually get some good points as well. So fortunately, they are trying their level best to gain some good points. QR, Zoe is one of those guys everybody has to fear about. And apart from that, teams like AXT is also having players like Invoker or if we talk about Team AV, we have players like a Vine, but right now, if I'm not wrong, Team AV is already out of equation with 11 amazing kills. That actually definitely puts them to the triple-digit marker. But unfortunately, that Booyah is not going to be there in their hands. Bloody Hell once again wants to aim the second Booyah for the day. But is it going to be an easy task? That's something we have to actually count for. H2G Forbits manages to take one more soul out of the equation.
Indeed. A few moments back, the number was 25, now is down to 22. The guys are being eliminated in a diminishing pattern because at this point of time, I was expecting the fight to be a little more aggressive. But clearly, the guys are playing passively. Slowly, the guys are getting eliminated. The players are being pushed out of the lobby. But there's one team that is still alive and kicking. That is Bloody Hell. Bloody Hell wants to seal the deal. Bloody Hell wants to get their hands at the Booyah yet again with good number of frags. I'm not really sure how many frags they managed to secure because in this particular match I could not noticed their name so many times in the kill feed, but I'm pretty sure if they somehow manages to get their hands at the booyah, they'll be at a good spot. They would still be at a spot where they'll have at least a little bit of to qualify for the next round, which is very important. Hope is a good thing. Hope is the one. Hope is the one good thing that keeps everything going and running. Zoe
Yeah.
and Shanks, both the guys going inside the circle, chasing the blue zone.
Unstoppable. Triple kill.
Well, definitely trying their level best to arrange some good points is going to be the only call out for team Tua, Zoe, and the other guy, which is still surviving. But if you talk about bloody hell, look at manpower. The 4-man power is here right now. In the last match, the same thing actually happened. The 4-man power was there. The way they actually presented that 4-man power was absolutely amazing. Let's see, will this match be the same one? Or is it going to be somewhere around, let's say, a different situations coming up? Calloy already gets quite a few damage. He's already losing half of his HP, but he's going to bring back himself in the game and he's going to pop out once again. 9 amazing people are surviving, out of which 4 are from Team PH. PH is once again trying to look for that Booyah. Is it going to be an amazing task? Well, of course, if Booyah is there from Team PH's corner, that will be one of those amazing comeback coming up. With a plus, let's say, 20 points in their consideration, they will definitely jump up to the top 5 position in the leaderboard in the overall standing as well. Apart from that, some shots have been exchanged, as you all can see. Constantly trying their level best with this ABCD. AXT is trying their level best to gain some good points. But we know if AXT is surviving, definitely the Booyah coming from a team BHS corner is going to be difficult. And as you all can see, the shots are being delivered. Team AXT is already receiving some good shots. Further is also way too late. But if we talk about Team PH, they are also trying the level best. Charge Buster has been summoned. That can definitely be quite critical.
Calloy. Clearly, bloody hell are in a mode are actually in a god mode, even though the god mode is not securing the frags. But clearly, all what matters is the number of points at the moment. In order to secure the frag, they have to take the risk. But right now, they're not willing to take the risk. So far in this last particular game, they did not take the risk at all. But the fight is very tough at the moment. At this one point, we have at this point we have AXT. The other hand, we have bloody hell. Orion gets
Triple
taken
kill.
down, but the shots are being constantly taken at the team AXT. Further gets down yet again. If the team bloody hell manages to take down Kando and Fear, okay,
Wow.
Fear is also down. It's
And
the team is down to one last man. Kando, last man surviving, last man standing, trying to take shots. One man down, but unfortunately, bloody hell does it again. They did it in the 6th game. They did it in the 7th game yet again. This is what was really needed. This was a much awaited booyah, a much needed booyah, and these points are going to do a huge number when it comes to the points table. Raider, we were really excited about the match. We were somewhere down the line, we were rooting for the team bloody hell,
for sure, man.
because from the bottom down, they are coming in the top up position.
Well, I was also rooting for the same team that was known as Bloody Hell. The way they performed was quite crucial, and eventually, last 2 matches, which we know as the comeback, could have been there. The Kalahari was there as a comeback, and after that, I guess there was some kind of spark in that particular team that, yes, of course, we are meant to get that booyah. We are here to actually deliver ourselves, and our fans should be cherishing ourselves, and that is why I guess somewhere around once again that manpower was delivered. Although for a moment, for a brief time period, when the fight between AXT and BH actually sparked, I thought that AXT might be able to overpower, because we have seen AXT once again getting that carnage coming up in the first match that AXT played together today. They were able to gain amazing points. But right now, if I talk about the placement of AXT, a little bit on the shaky end, they were outside. And eventually, if I talk about Bloody Hell, they were able to manage their performance, and their scatter was something which was quite amazing to prove their worth with, because a lot of shots were coming from multiple corners. AXT was unable to decipher it, and that is how Fear was taken down. That is how the other guy was taken down. And if I talk about the last man standing, he was able to do a 1v1. But after that, the support from the another corner was coming, and some good shots were there. And just like that, AXT was completely wiped out, because that guy didn't had a clue that there will be somebody on the left corner. It was a 1v2 type of fight coming up, because 2 good members from the Bloody Hell, Bloody Head to be precise, were already taken down, already being knocked out. And 2 good members were actually trying to take up a fight. One was taken down again, and the last man standing came up with the shots from the left corner, and just like that, AXT went out in the dust, and Team Bloody Head to be precise, was able to get that booyah in their consideration. And with this, I guess in 2 matches, close to 50 plus points were delivered in their hand.
Indeed. See, at the last fight, AXT already, the last guy from the team AXT had already realized that all the pillars have fallen down, and it's a matter of a couple of seconds. He'll be down as well. He'll be down in his knees, and he'll be eliminated. EXT at the #2 spot, but clearly a great performance by the team.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! You're rooting for the team, and finally the team has managed to bring Booyah back home. They've managed to get to the first spot. Not really sure. I'm expecting they've already secured a good number, and I'm waiting for the results. I'm waiting for the overall point standing, where bloody hell is going to stand in this particular game. And the results are going to be out in no time. And until then, I would only like to say every single guy that is watching the match, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. But we are close to 200 likes. We are up with 170 likes. 30 is the charm. Please, let's get over with 30 more likes, and then we'll have the results, and then we'll end our day with a good note. But
Yeah.
Raider, what
Mhm.
are your expectations about the report card that we always are curious for?
Two things is going to be quite clear that first of all, QR is going to be on top. That is for sure, and they're going to break the records of Team AV Radicals that they actually made yesterday. And apart from that, AV Radicals is going to take the second position with close to 105 or 6 points as well. Apart from that, if we talk about teams like Bloodyhead, they are actually going to create a significant amount of jump. FX fails to once again showcase their kind of strength. FX with the one booyah for the day. They
Hmm.
started it off. They were the team. This was the particular team known as War FX, who actually gained the first booyah for day number 2 of Philippines qualifier. But after that, what happened? Slowly but slowly, that team actually went down to the drain, and that is something you don't want to see. QR, a
Hmm.
commendable performance from their corner with some amazing points, with some amazing booyahs. That means 3 booyahs to be precise. They were able to showcase their strength. But after that, somehow their strength was also lacking in the last 2 matches. But no doubt, the job has done and dusted. They have actually secured some good points for sure. But yeah, I actually want to know from you in saying that what will happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the last day of this Philippines qualifier.
See, there's one thing I can be very sure of, that QR is going to qualify.
Right.
There's no doubt in that. About a couple of other predictions, I'll have to go forward and look through the points table, which is almost, it is about time, it is almost time for the points table. Let's have the points table to the production team, because every single guy that is watching, all the teams that have participated are waiting for the points table. They want to see where they stand after the day, and they want to come up with a couple of good strategies for the day tomorrow, because it's going to be very crucial for every single guy. It's going to be crucial for every single team. They need to know the points table, and I'm really curious about the points table. So can we have the points table?
We shall wait for the points table to come in, and eventually, when the points table will come in, we'll see two of those amazing teams getting qualified. Your pick is going to be QR, that definitely they are going to get qualified for the next
Yes.
battle, next phase. My pick is actually going to be along with QR, EV Radicals as well, because yesterday with 123 points, today with again 100 plus points, don't you think so? EV Radicals is for sure going to qualify for with the flying colors.
Yes, of course, of course. AV Radicals would want to go ahead and have a good clash with the teams that are sitting on top, because
Yeah.
AV Radicals is one of those teams that clearly eyes the #1 position, even though they haven't managed to get their hands at the first position today. But they would definitely be trying to make a comeback in the later stages in the
Hmm.
day that is yet to come. That's tomorrow, and we are expecting a good comeback. At the same time, there are a couple of other teams as well. AXP, if you talk about the team, and then Bloody Hell as well. There are certain other teams that would definitely be aiming at dethroning QR, which is, I would say, not impossible, but it is a little close to the word impossible, because they've already secured a good number of points, which is a little hard for other teams. They've already built a good, liberty for them, good buffer. They do have a quite a good liberty to, not even play a couple of matches. If they do not play a couple of matches, it's only going to simply decrease the buffer that they have created. But I hardly doubt if anybody is going to dethrone them from the #1 position. They simply have to come in tomorrow in the game, and that would pretty much do it. Even if they get eliminated in the hashtag 12 spot in one or two games, that's not going to make a huge difference. They would still have 5 more games in their hand, where even if they get 5 to 7, 5 to 8 points on an average basis, they would still make it. The question is hashtag 2 and hashtag 3, which other two teams are going to qualify? It's the real deal, it's the real question. We'll get to see the real teams, but right now we are waiting for the points table. And not just us, I think the fans are also waiting for the points table.
Well, see, insane. You have to count out one more thing, that yesterday QR was unable to give that performance that they are giving today. So yesterday's leaderboard was not in the favor of Team QR, and QR was lurking somewhere around, let's say, at the bottom of the first page, or should I say, fifth or sixth position. But if I talk about this particular team known as, I'm not actually going to favor any single team, but yeah, according to the stats, I would like to just, let's say, tell you that look at that. EV Radicals is still at the second position today, and yesterday they were at the hashtag 1 position. So that actually definitely going to create a lot of pressure on quick reactions, because the only team which might actually dethrone them or is still dethroning them is going to be Team EV Radicals overall in the leaderboard. But right now, if we talk about overall standing for day number 2, quick reaction is going to be on the top with 133 points. That's massive, with 3 amazing booyahs. AV Radicals with the second positions in the favor with 0 booyahs and 106 points in the favor. If I talk about hashtag 3 position, that's going to be WL's Berserkers with the 96 points, K9 Esports with 85 of their own, Ego with the 80 points, Bloody Head with 2 good booyahs is able to jump up to the hashtag 6th position.
Hashtag 6th position, Bloody Head. They managed to come to the 6th spot, 79 points, and from now on, I would say they can clearly see the hashtag 2 spot at least. I know it's going to be a tough one. WL Berserkers and AV Radials, the teams are going to fight for their glory. They are going to fight for their spot. But Bloody Head, the way they've played the last 2 games, I can see, and I'm sure of this particular thing, that they would definitely be trying, and they would definitely be carrying on to the hashtag 2 or hashtag 3 spot, because this team can do it. And it's about time. Can we have the look at the next page, the bottom 6 teams? Hard to
And there
get.
you guys. Yeah, hard to get is actually on the top at the second page with 7 matches that they've actually played for today. 71 points from their corner, 0 booyahs, Burr FX. Still actually a little bit sad to see that this team getting the first ever booyah, opening up the second day of the qualifiers, is actually at the 8th position. Ft.Av Tyrants with the 45 points remains at the 9th position. SAF with WNX is going to be there with the 27 points. If we talk about Rebellion Squad, or should I say RBS, with the 21 points is there in their favor. FNO2 Speed with only 19 points for them.
So we have pretty much summed up all the teams that have played, every single team that has performed so far. We're waiting for some teams to make a comeback, and I'm expecting a little bit of shuffle in the hashtag 2 or 3rd spot, because the teams are, the hashtag 1 is clearly way ahead of all the other teams, but hashtag 2 and hashtag 3, at least for the teams in the first page, it is still reachable. It is still in their reach. They would be pushing, they would be coming in the day tomorrow with good strategies, with good gunpowder, with good gun game. But let's see how far and long these teams can go. But I think Raider, it is about time to end our day. So please do the honors.
Well, of course, guys, we love the way these Filipino teams were actually performing for day number 2. Right now, we are going to give them a rest along with us. Also, we are going to take a small rest for today's day, and we are going to be back tomorrow with the same carnage at the same timing, that is 6:30 p.m. You have to tune in at Lidoma India page on Loco and YouTube as well, I believe. On Loco, you are going to get some exciting rewards. But right now, if we talk about YouTube page, you can easily hit the subscribe and that bell button as well. If you are actually watching us on Loco, you can just go ahead and follow us and give some supports. And if we talk about this particular Asia Cup, it is actually panning out to be one of those extravagant tournaments. But right now, we are going to take a short leave. We'll be seeing you soon enough in the next one. Until then, guys, adios.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done now.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done now.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done now. I like the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their girls with their nails done now.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. about humanity.